He's a secret weapon we've got on him. We'll fix him right up.
It won't be Nathan Bassett. You don't think Bassett will play on Modra?
I don't think Bassett's equipped to handle Modra. There is one player that is, though.
Stevens? Smart? Come on. Johnny's listening.
I think you'll find that all Australian might pick him up.
Okay. Well, boys, from down here, that's Knuckles and Barra's show for the time being. A magnificent day in Perth, a bit of a breeze from left to right of the screen, and whoever wins the toss will certainly have the benefit of that. A small crowd, a modest crowd, you'd have to say, Curls, at the moment.
Yeah, it will build a bit, but I don't think the house will be full. But it should be a ripper game.
All right, well, we're going to have some fun. From Barra and Curls, I'm just going to go and kill that ground announcer. It's back to you.
See you later.
We'll kill him first. Curls, first of all, on the defensive about Modra, but he gave nothing away. It's sort of like handshakes, boomerangs and homing pigeons, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not giving anything away. It will be interesting to see who picks Modra up. Maybe Ben Hart. He's a very quality player, and he may be equipped and agile enough to go with Modra.
Okay, thanks, Jono. Sandy, we'll give you a hand pass and we'll go and kill the ground announcer as well. Thanks,
Good luck,
We'll talk to you later.
Johnny Worsfold and Peter Landy there at Subiaco for the big clash between Fremantle and the Adelaide Crows. Terry Wheeler has been down firing up the Western Bulldogs. We'll find out just how they're feeling right after this break.
Cross that line, or are you growing weary of all the people watching you? Can you go the distance? Make it to the end. Write your name in glory. Can you go the distance? Make it across that line. Or are you growing weary of all the people watching you? Can you go the distance? Your name in glory. Can you go the distance? Make it across that line. Are you growing weary of all the people watching you? Can you go the distance? Make it to the end. Write your name in glory.
AFL action, and it's round 11 this afternoon. Today, Fremantle versus Adelaide over at Subiaco. The Crows make their entrance onto the ground here this afternoon. They've lost their last 4 games. It's their worst run about since 1996. Fremantle, well, they're on a bit of a high after last week. They won their first match ever at the MCG when they completely demoralised Melbourne over the last 3 quarters. What can they do here this afternoon at Subiaco? And as you can see there, the ground is in absolutely magnificent condition. It should be a top game of football. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Football on 7. It's certainly going to be a beauty here this afternoon. The crowd, it won't be a full house, but it is certainly building. As I mentioned, last week it was a beauty for Fremantle at the MCG. They won their first match ever at the home of football, and Chris Bond was anything but speechless after the game.
Listen up! It's our first one at the G, boys, and we're not going back, all right? We played with intensity, and we played with effort, and we should be proud of ourselves, but we're not going back. Let's get down and have a listen. Listen,
Last time these two sides met, July 24 last year. Round 17, it was an absolute thriller. What's going to happen today?
So do the Rockers. They both want it so much. Smart, still smart. High ball, is it a point? Is it a point? It's not. He's missed the lot. And the Dockers have won it. The Dockers have won it, I think. Can you believe it? They've won it.
I guess not many of us could believe it. Not many can believe that Adelaide, the reigning premiers, they've won the last two. They've now lost their last 4 matches in succession. Neil Curley caught up with their coach, Malcolm Blight.
Well, Malcolm, the situation is getting to such a point that opportunities are starting to run out.
Yeah, it's pretty right too. I think, you know, this game's pretty important to us. Obviously important to Fremantle too, that now that they've got into a bit of form.
Lost your ruckman, your 3 best ruckmen. Bandy last week, best on ground for Fremantle. Big challenge there for someone.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got the kids, you know, Matthew Golding and Lucas Herbert, and we'll go with them. And, I mean, it's going to be a great part of their learning curve, and that's what we've got, that's what we'll go with.
No doubt you thought of maybe robbing around the ground a bit.
Oh, yeah, but, you know, Matthew's always capable of that, but I think, yeah, no, we'll just have a look at the kids first. That's where they're going to play, somewhere down the track, hopefully.
The Modra factor looms as one. Oh, you had him for a year. He's kicked a lot of goals this year, and no doubt he's a real danger today.
Oh, he is, yeah, he's in pretty good nick, and their midfield's been good, as you said. Bandy and, you know, Fletcher, you know, always had a bit of time for, so, yeah, if he gets too much easy ball, he'll probably kick some more goals. You've got to try and prevent the ball coming in nicely to him. Yeah, you do. That's, you know, it's no different than most other good forward line players. So, yeah, no, hopefully we can just spark up around the middle. We've been down there a bit all year, so we just need to give our forward line some chances. Did something different Friday night, sat back in the stand, which I always did myself, or often did myself, and let the skipper take the run? Oh, yeah, Mark was coming back into the team 4 weeks out, so I thought it was just good. You know, he's got great voice around the club, so, yeah, it was a nice night off, really. OK, all the very best. Thanks, Neil. Back to you.
The Modra factor is the key. John Worsfold looks at Modra and other players in just a moment.
The 1999 AFL Coca-Cola Premiership season, proudly brought to you by Telstra, making life easier. The McDonald's Footy Burger, the double quarter pounder with cheese. Foster's Light Ice for extreme refreshment, and the new Mitsubishi Magna 3.5, the next generation.
And John Worsfold joins us. John, good afternoon and welcome.
Thanks very much, Peter.
Well, as I said, the Modra factor. He kicked 10 last week, and conditions out there, they should be ideal for him.
They are ideal for him. He'll want his teammates up and running the ball down as quickly as they can again. 10 goals last week, outstanding effort, and he's been a real highlight for the Fremantle side this year.
Well, he's certainly going to be their key goal-kicking wise, but I saw the game last week. Daniel Bandy, he turned in an absolute beauty.
Yeah, Daniel Bandy was the best man on the ground last week, which was a big effort considering Modra kicked 10, but Bandy's form has really mirrored the Fremantle Football Club's form over the since their inception. Very much showed glimpses of what they could do, but haven't strung them together. He needs to play well 2 in a row. Fremantle need to do that to win 2 in a row.
Well, on paper, the Adelaide side does look a lot better. This guy can do anything on his day. Let's hope for Adelaide's sake he's fit.
Yeah, very crucial matchup for the Fremantle side on Jarman, an outstanding player who can kick, you know, a bag of goals in any one quarter, so they'll have to watch him for the whole game.
All right, Brett James, the game's going to be won probably at midfield. 25 disposals last week from him.
Yeah, he's a very good running player, likes to get in around the packs and manages to get his hands on the football a fair bit. So a player that Fremantle may match up with someone like Norwich.
It's the Dockers and the Crows from Subiaco. Ian Robertson joins us after the break. The first quarter coming up in just a few moments.
Good on you, Peter, and it's great to be here with you and one of the all-time superstars of Western Australian football, Johnny Ward-Pride. Good on you, John.
Speaking of 2 superstars, let's go down to Adrian Barrett now, and he's got a gentleman with him called Neil Curley.
Yes, Curls is the superstar. Magnificent Perth win today. I tell you what, Knuckles, what about the weather here? Breeze left to right, probably worth a couple of goals, you reckon?
If they kick straight. A bit swirly, though.
And Peter Vardy out at the last minute. That's got to be a blow for the Crows.
Yeah, leg strain, genuine half forward, a bit like Eddie for West Coast. Does kick goals off half forward.
Now, let's have a look. Who's going to pick up Tony Modra? Who did you predict?
I said an All-Australian, but it may be Bassett, I don't know.
He still hasn't come out there. It's definitely not hard anyway. It might be Bassett, I think. Boys, I think we're in for a huge game.
Modra must be stopped to kick goals. You allow Modra to kick goals, Fremantle could win.
Thanks, guys. I can tell you that Bassett has got the job, certainly in the early stages of the opening quarter. The Crows are going to the right, and it is Fremantle going to the left, and it's going to be a free kick taken by the dual Norm Smith medalist. McLeod kicks up towards half forward. James tries to get into the space. He does. No mark taken. Chance for Carroll to get back. Bond pinned by Smart. Umpire lets it go. Norris applies a tackle, and that was applied only about 12 metres out from the goal square. Tyson Edwards gets himself up from the fray. It's going to be a ball up. We couldn't wish for better conditions. A lot of heavy rain in Melbourne during the week, and of course in Brisbane last week. So it just goes to show that AFL footballers really have to adapt to playing in different states. Carroll, a quick kick. Not really out of the congestion. Norris thought about going off the ground. Kickett was on the ground. Now gets a chance to pick it up. Dockers defending grimly here in the opening minute of play. And again, it's going to be a ball up. This time about 35 metres out from goal.
Yes, as you said, Peter, very good conditions here at Subiaco for this match that has been deemed as very important for both sides. A opportunity there for Nigel Smart. The kick over his left shoulder will land over on the full, is it? No, just touched as it was about to go over that boundary line. So it'll be thrown in left forward pocket here for Adelaide. Crows, with all their injury problems, have still put together a pretty useful 22 players to combat the Dockers this afternoon. Chance now for Wirra. Little kick by Brad Wirra, bouncing close to the line. Gathered here by Costa. Gee, wasn't that a good tackle by, was that Parker? The tackler there across the half-back line for Fremantle. Very emphatic and wrapped Costa up beautifully.
A couple of big jobs, Brad Wirra with the job of McLeod, and Chris Bond, the skipper, taking Jarman. So big jobs for those two players today.
Wirra out of the congestion. Brings the ball almost completely across the ground. Carroll sees it over the line with Big Burton, who, as we mentioned in our opening remarks, took arguably the mark of the year last week. It wasn't allowed, if that makes sense. It was a grab. Crow supporters certainly weren't happy with the decision, but I think in the end that was a correct one. On the shoulders, Johnson tries to break through, pinned by Brodie Holland, and we'll see another ball up.
Peter, bench for the Crows. Herbert, Allen, Caven, Howard.
Thank you, Curls. Robran with the fly. Couldn't find a teammate. Picked up by Prescott. Back towards midfield at a marking contest. Now Fletcher, a little give. Holland again. Bandy. They love him, especially after his game last week. Kick lets him down. Put it down as a perfect pass. O'Reilly takes it at half forward. I don't think he'd mind me saying luck's a fortune. But you make your own luck sometimes, Robert, don't you?
Well, we've watched Stephen O'Reilly kick the ball long distances from full back over the years, Peter, and he'd be a chance here, John, to score, wouldn't he, surely?
Yeah, he's kicking into a slight breeze, not a lot, but that may just make a difference. But he is a very good kick, and he's pretty confident.
New stand will shelter some of it. Well, he's confident about finding a player, and he does in Gale. Gale right on 50. Lobs it up to Modra territory. Modra from behind, but there was a big punch away and a chance for Costa to get clear. He'll drive the Crows out of danger to centre wing.
Yeah, Costa's left foot kick lands the ball at centre wing. He'll get it back again. Chance to hand pass in towards the centre of the ground. It breaks down. Prescott under pressure. Handball away. Gathered by James. Good tackle applied by Parker once again. Now the kick by Costa is been well marked at half forward by McLeod. There's some confidence for you. Andrew McLeod bursting after taking the mark. Rashudo, Robran, can he get his kick away? Matthew Robran, first real shot at goal, is a goal to the Crows.
The country mile, well within his kicking distance, got the accuracy as well. So first goal to the Crows, good confidence builder for them, Golding up. Ball driven away by Gale again, bouncing ball, which way will it go? Favours the full-back in Bassett. Out of bounds on the full, so it'll come back pretty quickly. Kick comes up to half forward. I think they might have to do it again. Ship's got it. Not quite sure why he had to kick it again. Holland, who's been busy. Brodie Holland, former Tasmanian. I guess you're always a Tasmanian. Waterhouse, oh, that's a good mark. He's going in short. Season finds Prescott. Came from Richmond, over 70 games in the reserves in Tigerland, so an apprenticeship that AFL players these days don't really get the chance to have. Kicks down to Modra, couldn't find him. Chance for Bond, goes this way, that way, and then across the goals, over the head of Hart. O'Reilly's there. Ball may bounce out of bounds, it does in front of O'Reilly, and we'll see a throw-in. Dockers still to score, 15 and a half minutes remaining in the first quarter. It's a throw-in right on 50 in their right half-forward play.
And Pete, the Fremantle bench is Andrew Wills, Clem Michael, James Walker and Michael Clark.
Thanks, Barra. Keeping us up to date, Neil Curley and Adrian Barrich on the boundary line. And the ball is 50 metres from the Dockers' goal. And taken to the ground there, James. Was that all legal? According to the umpire, yes. He'll bounce 50 metres from the Fremantle goal. Beautiful sunny conditions, little bit of breeze blowing to the end, to which the Crows are kicking in this first term. 5 or 6 minutes now into the first quarter. A kick by Prescott, lands the ball in the area of Modra. He gets back onto it, tries the little hack out of there. Bit risky for that circumstance, but free kick has been found here, and it's going to Bassett in the right back pocket for Adelaide.
Desperate play, just wanted to get under, stop Modra from getting that kick off the ground. He did it well.
Bassett's kick has been marked by Kickett, so Fremantle will go back into attack. Head pass off to Prescott. Prescott from about 65, 70 metres, hooks the kick, goes all the way to the line. Modra!
Yes!
Manufactures a magnificent goal!
Hey, kids, look on the right.
Ned Zelic and his mates would have been happy with this one last night at Stadium Australia. That was a fantastic soccer effort. Tony Modra scoring his 43rd goal of the year. Former Coleman medalist after 10 last week. How many in store today? Bandy and Golding. Now Costa, who's been busy, onto Rasciuto, gets around Fletcher, back to Golding, the youngster, back to Rasciuto as they share it around. Up towards full forward, Carroll punches to the side. Clement may get there first. McLeod goes with him. Was that deliberate? No, not according to the umpire.
Peter, I think Fremantle will be very, very happy with their start. They've had the ball inside their 50 far more often than the Crows at this stage.
Confidence counts a lot, doesn't it, girls? So it's going to be Bandy and Robrin. Out the back. Sock it away from Edwards. Ship taken down in that tackle. Robin looks for holding the ball. Not according to the umpire, and it's going to be a ball up.
Fletcher pretty good in there underneath for Fremantle.
Isn't he always?
Yep.
Robin tries to find McLeod. Quick kick. Comes up towards Smart. Looks for the hand pass to Jarman. Couldn't find him. Edwards slapped away up towards 50. Now Black. Jarman taps it sideways. Crows trying to get boot the ball. They might be able to do so here through Tyson. Well outside 50. Spears the pass up towards the right forward pocket. Well, Carroll looked as though he might have been legged. Rasciuto a charge. The ball's underneath him. He has to get it out quickly. Robin step 3 second. It bounces and it goes through. It's a goal. Let's confer, say the umpires. Without the hat, full points.
Oh, great goal by Matthew Robin. He's looking dangerous already. Starting opposed to Parker, who's going to have his work cut out, but the goal umpire actually got cleaned up pretty badly then and managed to keep his composure and make the decision. It looked like it was going to be pretty close, whether the Fremantle player touched the ball or not. You'll see him rush in and try and get a hand on it, but cleaned up the goal umpire on the way through.
How could he make the decision? You wonder, don't you?
He
was flattened properly.
It was pretty tough.
Well, you wonder sometimes how the umpire could see when he flat on his face on the ground after being poleaxed by one of the players. But the decision obviously helped out by one of the central umpires. Fremantle go forward through Prescott. Bandy doing some good ruck work. Toya couldn't take the mark. His immediate opponent, Bickley, gathered by Ship, still held here. You can see as he got rid of the ball, the tackle continued from Ben Hart. Andrew Ship, his kick towards full forward, punched away by the Crows' defence. It's still inside the forward 50 for Fremantle, and the umpire calls for a bounce about 45 metres from the Dockers' goal.
Actually, Prescott's been busy, 5-1 so far for the Dockers.
Crows have kicked 2, both goals kicked by Matthew Robran. The goal for Fremantle, kicked by Tony Modra. 50 metres from the Dockers' goal. The umpire's found a free kick here. It's going to Fremantle, and it'll be taken by their midfielder, their trusty midfielder, Fletcher. Adrian Fletcher from 50 metres, kicking into the slight breeze. He'll lob the ball in the area of Modra. Up high, couldn't take the mark. Fighting on as the ball hits the ground. Tony Modra. Underneath all that, the Adelaide defence hold that attack up. That looks like Goodwin at the bottom of the pack. And the umpire will bounce about 30 metres out from Fremantle's. The Fremantle goal. 12 plays 6. Ruckman to go at it. Number 37 for Adelaide is Matthew Golding. And is he going to be penalised? Holland's kicked a goal.
Fremantle, Brodie Holland, the 19-year-old from Glenorchy, putting that one through after a good soccer effort earlier by Tony Modra. So scores level here at Subiaco as we approach the halfway mark of the first quarter under ideal conditions. Golding beaten for it, over the head of Kickett comes the hand pass. Bond eludes one, gets it away. Kick comes from Golding down towards centre half forward, no mark. Parker does well in a fairly tight situation there. Prescott, he's burning, that's kick number 6. And possession number 7, lands it up towards centre wing. Bandy onto Fletcher. Fletcher, perhaps not realising he had so much room. Beautiful pass to Modra, wasn't it, John?
Quality kick, Adrian Fletcher. Just when he has got that time to steady, is a beautiful passer of the football. And that time on the left foot, Tony Modra just led, makes a short, sharp lead here. Fletcher just whacks it on the boot, hits him right on the chest.
So a chance for the Dockers to go ahead now. Modra, 43 goals already for the year, 43-18, so his conversion rate is pretty good. That's a mongrel punt off the boot.
The goal.
I think it's fair. I think you're right.
Aye, we're off for a wee break with the wind.
Marvels at the ability of Tony Modra, and we all love to see him playing football and kicking goals. He's kicked 2 already in this match.
And that's the worst kick he'll do all day.
Well, yes, it may be, but I think in the words of the great Tony Lockett, his kick to Kicky's 1300th wasn't all that good, but by gee, they still register the 6 points.
Correct.
Prescott. Now Holland, one of the goal kickers. Holland for Fremantle out wide. Gee, they got the numbers around the football, Fremantle, running very hard to support each other. A chance now here for Norrish. Norrish, his kick in towards the pocket. Modra's on the end of it. He's already causing some concerns for the Adelaide defence, Tony Modra, and he's going for his 3rd goal. We've still got 10 minutes left in the first quarter.
And it's amazing. Tony Modra leads and presents himself so well, but you can just see the confidence in the Fremantle midfielders, knowing that he's going to lead for them. Their kicking has actually improved out of sight this year.
Modra kicks into the man on the mark. Still a chance for Tony Modra. Gets his right foot to it. No, it may have been over just before he kicked the ball, according to the boundary umpire, and it'll be thrown in about 30 metres around from Fremantle's goal.
I think the point is that Fremantle, when they were going forward in previous seasons, they didn't have a focal point. They would chip it around and always look indecisive. With Modra there, they're very attacking. They're going straight up forward and kicking the ball well to him.
Golding and O'Reilly. O'Reilly thumps it to the front of the square. Opportunity for Waterhouse. Waterhouse throws it onto his right boot.
It's a goal.
I would think he's missed this one. Oh. Yes. Just off to the left. Hooked the ball a little too far there. Clive Waterhouse scores a behind for Fremantle. 3-1, plays 2 goals. Goals for Adelaide. Matthew Robran has kicked both. And Tony Modra 2 for Fremantle. Brodie Holland 1.
15-14 for the year for Clive Waterhouse. It was very nearly the other way around, virtually over the top of the goalpost. Dual problems down there for the Dockers, or for Adelaide. That was Goodwin kicking it up towards the centre circle. Again, Dockers with the numbers at the fall of the ball. Norris, Fletcher, Wirra, they work it around pretty well. Kick wasn't a good one up towards Waterhouse. That was in the back, so saith the crowd, but not the umpire. Bond defending well. Scoots it out towards Johnson on centre wing. Burton it was. Gale. Carroll. Off a step. Inboard. Fletcher has been busy, isn't he always? He's looking for options. His last kick he was able to get it to Modra. I don't think this one will result in the same play. Waterhouse nearly, so it could have been almost as good. O'Reilly spins out, gets a free kick for his trouble. He was taken high according to the umpire. Now 2 Dockers are there. Kick it, yes, in the end, no play on. Bond was there as well. Shepherd's for kick it, brushes one tackle, 25 metres out, goes a go and kicks it. Well played.
On Today Tonight, Adelaide's chocolate war.
It's driving me out of business.
Dividing our famous tourist town.
Sending out the wrong sort of message.
Well, the Fremantle side have got their 4th goal through Dale Kickett. Controlling this match, Fremantle at the moment. Knocked forward by Bandy. Costa, advantaged by the bounce, gathers and then runs onto his left. The kick is reasonably well weighted for Kane Johnson. And he runs around and gets back onto his right, steadies, kicks the ball towards half forward. At the back, Nigel Smart. Contest there with James Clement. The football in the hands of Carroll. Still a chance for Adelaide. Rashuto's snapshot for goal bounces right across the face. And goes over for a boundary throw it in the right forward pocket for Adelaide.
Ian, I know
Go, girl, sorry.
I know at the other end of the ground, but to me, what I've seen, I don't think Bassett is the perfect matchup for Modra.
Yeah, interesting comment. Tony Modra with 2 goals. Matthew Robran doing the ruck work. Herbert has come onto the ground for Adelaide. Running away with the football was Parker. Handball over the top. Releases Gale. Gale into the middle of the ground. Mark taken by Black. They're on the attack again, Fremantle. Beautiful kick by Black. Holland not having to change stride. Kicks toward full forward. Brodie Holland's kick bounces through for a behind.
And Modra said he was held by the jumper.
And he's talking to the umpire about it now.
Querying, wasn't he?
Yeah. And the umpire obviously not sided on that occasion, but Modra just alerting him to the fact the umpires will, you know, keep an eye out for that.
26 plays 12. Fremantle lead. Now, what's happening here?
I think the umpires, one umpire's run from the middle of the ground, the central umpire, and he's querying something. I think there was maybe no all clear given.
David Howlett. One behind.
You might be spot on there, John, the technicality that you picked up, and they've got to go through the whole motion once again.
We see Modra being held here. Oh, yeah, he was, by Bassett.
So now the all clear given, and Ben Hart brings the ball back into play for Adelaide. A contest to half forward. Kick it over the top was Johnson. Gathered by Fletcher. Tries to hand pass to Prescott. Chopped off by Tyson for the Crows.
Tyson's kick up towards centre wing. Carroll there, read it best, just held his ground. Just a little bit of a nudge against his opponent. He goes out wide, looking for Gale. Should find him and does. Gets around Edwards. The hand pass effective to Brodie Holland, who's been good so far. Modra, a decent little nudge. David Howlett says, OK, you can have the mark. Is that a square up? Now Bassett's going for it.
Well, the umpire's got something to think about now, because Bassett not happy with that. Certainly Modra leant on him, forced him under the ball with his arm. The umpire saying that it wasn't enough contact to warrant a free kick, but you know, maybe Bassett a bit unlucky here.
Yeah, I agree. Well, David Howlett's been umpiring, he told us last night, for 17 years, so he knows the caper pretty well. Modra, inside 50, only just. He's got the goal, I think.
Well, I think that shows the value of Modra querying the umpire. The previous decision, when he thought he got held, he made a point of going up to the umpire. It didn't look too abusive. He just wanted to make the point that he was being held in the previous contest. And on that occasion, he got away with a bit of a nudge, pushing Bassett under the ball. And it does play on the umpire's mind. There's no doubt. They're obviously think they may be harsh on the full forward on one occasion. On that time, a little bit lenient. So it squared up for Tony Modra and resulted in a goal.
Well, Malcolm Blight persists with Nathan Bassett at full back. Crows are winning their share of centre clearances, not getting much out of their half-forward line at the moment. Free kick was paid to Fremantle. Advantage call. Prescott finishes with Bandy. Bandy towards full forward. Modra in the action. Again, he's going to grasp a chance here. Back onto his right. Kick smothered off the boot. Very well played by Bassett. Hand pass comes out. Kick it. Oversharing the ball. They might get a goal. Bandy step shot. 6 goals on the scoreboard for Fremantle.
And great play, Daniel Bandy. Started today's game like he played last week, which is what he had to do, but involved in that passage of play twice, ended up kicking the goal himself, and his mobility is showing out. He worked the ball down the ground, fired up, just ran into the space. It looked like Fremantle had to overuse the ball when they had a previous chance to have a shot at goal. But on that occasion, it paid off for him. Got it to Bandy and a good snapshot for goal, and he started very well.
Daniel Bandy, the 4th goal kicker for Fremantle so far. It's already their best first quarter effort against the reigning premiers Adelaide. 6-2 to 2 goals, and what a start by the Dockers here this afternoon. Bounce again in the centre. Can they get it out of the centre, Adelaide? Boy, do they need to. Parker missed it. Carroll back to Parker. Bond. Gee, they're playing with confidence now. Prescott again. He's been at everything so far. Prescott the centre wing. Punch away by Stevens, gets it away from O'Reilly for a throw-in on centre wing.
10 possessions, Ashley Prescott.
Yeah, that's not bad. So Prescott and Modra certainly have been the stars.
Prescott's manning up on Rashudo, so that's the start that they would want. Rashudo's had 5 possessions, but Prescott's really putting the pressure on him.
Herbert and O'Reilly. Now there's a free kick there. It's going to the Dockers.
Advantage played.
Gale. Up inside 50. Waterhouse has taken the mark. Now he's a towering kick. You just about reckon he'd kick this.
Mercurial, isn't he?
Oh, he is. He's super quick, and Gale did the right thing there. Just put the ball way out in front and back Waterhouse's pace to get to it, rather than just setting it up and giving the backman a chance to spoil.
Well, I thought he kicked the goal earlier and went over the top of the post. So 15-14, his tally for the year. A chance for number 16 here with 4 minutes to go. And what a start this would be, as I said. The Dockers already their best ever first quarter score against Adelaide. They did the same thing last week to Melbourne. What have they found? He runs out to the right, looking for O'Reilly, and he finds him. That was good. Didn't telegraph that. Looked as though he was going to come in for the big bomb, and then O'Reilly on a lead. So almost a set play, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, he went back twice. O'Reilly did the same before. It looked like he was going to have the shot for goal from right on the 50-metre line, but then went for the short pass, and maybe it's something that they've worked on. They don't want to just bomb the ball where it's going to be touched on the goal line and easily knocked through for a behind by the Adelaide side. Just hold it up. The players are obviously aware that they've got to keep leading because they're going to look for that opportunity.
Stephen O'Reilly, best and fairest back in 1996 for Fremantle. Over 120 AFL games. Distance won't be a problem for him. It's not. Needs to be accurate. Right over the goal umpire.
He goes back to Tyson. Tyson's kick gets it very close to the forward 50. Past that area. Robrin, little tap on. McLeod straightens up, gets back onto his right, kicks the ball in towards centre half forward. Jarman couldn't take the mark. A free kick has been paid.
Doesn't appear to be too much in it.
A little soft, maybe, John, that free kick?
Yeah, I think maybe Bond took his eyes off the ball at the last moment and still had the body contact. If we just see Bond just didn't have his eyes on the ball and took Jarman's body away from the contest. So, you know, probably a fair decision on that occasion.
Well, a chance here for Darren Jarman to kick his first goal for the game. Dockers fans not happy with that decision. It will stand. Jarman shot for goal. Looks pretty good. He's kicked a goal.
And they really needed that goal. Adelaide, and Jarman hasn't been able to get into the game so far. Earned the free kick that time. Chris Bond doing a fairly good job, and he's a hard runner from the back pocket, Chris Bond. He'll be trying to take off as many times as he can and see if Jarman will follow him down the ground. Jarman obviously very, very dangerous anywhere within scoring distance in the forward line, so Bond's aim will be to try and keep him away from that position. But if he had kept his eyes on the ball, I think he was right then, Bond, but he took his eyes off it.
Dockers' first quarter score, by the way, is their best ever quarter against Adelaide. Hayden Kennedy puts the ball down. We've got just a couple of minutes to go before quarter time. Can the Dockers get another one before the siren? I'll be certainly looking for it. It's been a marvellous quarter so far. Bickley for his first kick. Just had the one-hand pass so far. Carroll punches to the side. That was well done. Setting it up well. That's out of bounds, is it not? Yes, it is. And the kick came from Black.
Peter, I'd like John to look at the centre bounce setup with the Crows. They've been starting 2 men on the attack side. The Bandy's been clearly winning the ruck. I don't know why they haven't got a better defensive action.
Bandy again gets nudged out there by Herbert, who punches the ball some 20 metres downfield. Kick it appeared to be held. Wirra gives the little hand pass away. Fletcher, great evasive tactics there. Spears the pass in towards Black again, who marks at left half back. Not too much on offer.
Bandy was a chance.
Fletcher made good position. Rashuto now stands
still Bandy's in the middle of the ground.
On his own, right on the circle. Rodman chases, won't catch him. Bandy lobs it high. Modra has to beat 2. Wills, a little hand pass. Norris onto the right. He's got it!
You know, Modra was good there, John, wasn't he, in that marking contest?
That was great play by Fremantle all around. Just a real good contest by Modra. Pushed the ball forward. Wills had read the play extremely well. Got himself right in front of that pack. And a very quick handball over the top. Norris running hard from the back line, pushing forward. And when things are going well for you, those goals go through, and that one never looked like missing for Freo.
He's non-preferred foot too, so it was a pretty good effort, wasn't it?
That was his, he is the right footer. No, Norris is the right footer, so got it straight through.
What a quarter, Robbo.
Oh, amazing stuff. I don't think Damien Drum would have ever thought that it was going to be anything like this. He probably would have liked the side to be in front at quarter time, but 8 goals, 2-3, something he may have been dreaming about. They go forward once again. Tyson and Waterhouse, good contest. Still Tyson, held when he didn't have it. Gathered here by Wirra. Hand pass away to Black. Got past Goodwin and then kicks the ball towards half forward. They're providing a contest everywhere, Fremantle. Kick it. Well, that went anywhere, but it went to Fletcher. You wouldn't believe it. And Fletcher's pass is perfect to Bandy, who has been quite dominant in this first quarter.
Oh, that's just classy football from Fremantle. They're just starting back on the wing with Brad Wirra, who just sold a dummy, drew an Adelaide opponent to him, so then he released Heath Black, and then they just moved the ball extremely quickly down the ground. Adrian Fletcher's dominating in the centre of the ground, was just sitting on his own, and Kickett just knew he was there, just swung around, threw the handball back in towards the centre of the ground, found Fletcher, and as we said earlier, when Fletcher's got time, he'll always find a teammate, and Bandy again running hard forward.
He's kicked one, Daniel Bandy. Going for his second, just misses to the right. 1 goal, 1 against his name. The onslaught continues for the Dockers. 8-3 to 3 goals, and Damien Drum enters the arena in preparation for the quarter-time address.
Bandy 5, 2 and 3 marks. It's been a good quarter, and certainly he has continued on the form of last week. There he is again. So maybe they can get another. That looked like a trip. Kick it. They need a mark here. Modra just on siren time. Seconds to go. Modra couldn't get his boot to that one. And it's out of bounds in their left forward pocket. So a throw in. I don't know unless there's some interference off the ball as Damien Drum looks on. You don't think there'd be a chance for a score here. So a throw in right next to the behind post. Herbert will try to punch it. He does. Gets it away from the zone, which he wanted. But a great quarter by Fremantle. Their best ever against Adelaide. And they've rounded it out with a score of 8 goals, 3 to 3 goals against the reigning premiers. They had some terrific players. Prescott got them off on the right foot early. 8 and 4 and 2 marks to the former Tiger. 8-3 to 3 goals at Subiaco. Back in just a moment. Tasmania up towards half forward. Kick it onto O'Reilly. A snap that's well off target. The infamous point post. Bassett will bring the ball back. Well, he had his hands more than full in the first quarter with Cody Modra, who finished up with 3 goals, and probably, I suppose, if he was having a little bit of luck, could have had 4. And Blight is still confidence in him. Oh, that's a good mark.
Yep.
Yes, Matthew Golding.
Blighty spoke to him and Lucas Herbert at quarter time. John, you were observing that quite closely.
Yeah, obviously they were struggling out of the centre. And Blight spent a fair bit of time of that quarter time break talking to his midfield group.
Tyson taps it down. Rashudo couldn't handle it. Parker. There's a holding decision here.
I think he threw the ball.
Yeah, had him by one hand, so he ended up just juggling the ball forward, which was a throw.
Big Robrin. It looked like a drop kick. Perfect tumble off the boot with the drop punt. Norris, Fletcher out of bounds, about 65 metres from goal. 51 plays 18 here at Subiaco.
Getting nothing out of Nigel Smart. Would you move him down the ground maybe for 5 minutes?
Well, he is a good runner from half back. He's stuck in the goal square at the moment and not really getting himself involved.
Bandy wins it, slaps to the front. Johnson. Up to Carroll. Couldn't complete the mark. Costa, 5 kicks in the first quarter. Chance for a goal. Bends it around. He's done it. That's what the Crows wanted.
Yeah, that's the goal they needed. One where they had to work pretty hard for it. But they had numbers at around the pack on that occasion. So good defensive work by the Dockers. They couldn't clear the ball far enough. Costa just running hard. He's playing on the wing. He's worked pretty hard forward and done very well to gather that ball, break a tackle, and then finish off with a good kick for goal. He's at 8 possessions, Costa, so he's working well off a wing.
Kim Costa, 8 possessions, kicks his first goal early in the second term. Good bounce at the centre. Bandy gets first hand to it. Rashudo left it behind. Well done by Golding. Gets it to James. James out wide. Crows a very good chance here. Tyson to straighten up. Kicks from 50 metres. Gets fantastic distance. It helped over in the finish by Carroll for a rush behind to Adelaide.
John, you were right at quarter time. Malcolm Blight did spend quite some time with his midfielders and his ruckman. Very concerned about Bandy's movement when he goes forward.
So the kick in by Clement. He goes well past the defensive 50, gathered by Parker. Looked to give the hand pass away. Then after one bounce, delivers. Good hand pass to Fletcher. Fletcher runs forward of the centre. Kicks out wide to Modra. Punched away, strong in defence, Bassett. Ben Hart there for Adelaide. Gets away from Ship. Shrugs the Modra tackle. Handball over the top, in trouble. James in all sorts of strife. That was a very effective tackle, but overzealous maybe by Fletcher, and infringes against the Adelaide player.
Just carried him forward a little bit too much there. But I think it just shows how hard Fremantle want to attack it. So as much as they give away a free kick, they get a bit out of it.
Looking to switch the play, the Crows. Ben Hart. Gee, you don't often see that, do you? Ben Hart coughing it up so straightforwardly. Bandy marks. Awkward kick. Nearly marked by Wills. Bond. He's got Wills. Ship. Out wide, Black. Natural side for Heath Black. Shocking kick. Misses everything from about 30 metres.
Oh, a few bad mistakes in that passage of play, but a good handball out of Andrew Ship. Under a lot of pressure of being tackled, still managed to get the handball out to Black. He should have finished off better, but good test for Andrew Ship today, being picked up by Ben Hart.
Gets another chance, gives it to Fletcher. Fletcher's caught, the hand pass goes astray. And now Bassett takes the hand pass from Stevens. Crows defence under pressure. They should be able to run it out. Bickley starting to get a little bit of the footy, and that's good news. On to Johnson. Up to centre wing. Tyson brushes one opponent. Pass not as good as he would have liked. Bond hits the ground. He hit it running literally. Oh, that's in the back, surely. No, he lets it go. We'll put the whistle away. Kick comes away from Brad Wirra. Marking contest. Umpire lets it go. Bickley again. From Stevens. For half forward.
They need more out of this young fella. He's an exciting prospect. Only had one kick so far.
Burton, he can take a big grab as we've seen. Clement punches from the back. Bandy. Wills, he hasn't been able to get into it. Got underneath that one. Fletcher has got it. He'll give it to Wills. Gale nearly upset that. Ran in between the pair. Prescott. He's been excellent. Kick it. Wills will provide the shepherd. Comes down to half forward. Stevens over the top of O'Reilly. O'Reilly gets back quicker, gets back the better, brushes the Bickley tackle, onto Black, brushes another tackle from Bassett, ball jarred free, up towards full forward. Snap by Ship, he's got it.
Traction control, sports mode transmission, and a powerful new 3.5-litre V6 engine, new Magna Sports will give you the ride of your life.
In this circumstance, 1 on 2, absolute theft in daylight.
He's not going to get a lot of loose football playing on Ben Hart today,
No,
but if he can get those ones in tight and make something of them like that, he's going to be good value for Fremantle today.
It's certainly a great opportunity, and he grabbed it and he capitalised. Adelaide maybe to go clear from the centre. No, it's gathered by Kickett. Kickett handles the ball beautifully. Wirra slipped through his fingers. McLeod grabs the chance. Andrew McLeod goes for goal and misses to the left.
A bit lucky there, Fremantle. It's one player that you don't give half a chance to. McLeod normally snaps them up. Made the most of getting possession, but couldn't finish it off with the goal.
31 points the advantage with Fremantle. And big kick by Clement. Went a long way in the air. Reasonable distance. Kick back towards the middle of the ground there by Holland. And the mark taken by Costa. 15 minutes left in the second term. Costa goes wide. Finds Bond. Bond in turn to the forward 50. Tyson. Plenty of touches of the football. Good kick. It's a goal. Magnificent shot for James Tyson.
Well, that was an excellent shot for goal. Fremantle managed to create the loose man on the far side of the ground. Good run from Troy Bond out of the back line. That's what set up the loose man, his hard work down the flank. And he set Tyson away, who ran in and finished off very well. It's a pretty hard spot to kick him from. Fair way out, but got onto it beautifully, and a very well needed goal by Adelaide.
Six kicks to James Tyson, one hand pass and now one goal. So the Crows working a little bit better in the second quarter. Bandy, geez, having a magnificent game again. Costa.
So is this bloke.
Yeah, gets past Fletcher. That was well done. Up towards half forward. Robin's got it. You wouldn't back him not to kick it, would you, from there? Well, he's given it a decent old roost. Jarman taken out of the contest. Edwards off the ground, and is that a goal?
He's holding on anyway.
That might be a goal. It is a goal.
Yeah, we've got a flat rate bubble on that beach.
Telstra's new easy rates, low flat rates by the minute or the half hour to every country in the world.
Hey, I'm even getting a bit of a soft spot for the wallabies.
Like New Zealand. For a quick call, dial 0011 for 28 cents a minute. Or for a long chat, dial 0018 and save even more with a $6 half-hour block.
Sure you're okay over there, cunt?
Never better.
Making it easy for you.
Here it is again. Well, it won't go down as goal of the day, but it still counts for 6 points.
My word, and importantly for Adelaide, it's their 6th goal, their 3rd in this quarter, as distinct from that Fremantle have kicked 1 to the right-hand end. So Adelaide making a bit of a contest here. Prescott gathers off his left, kicks the ball 45 metres in the O'Reilly area. Stevens gets back, well harassed by Kickett, spills for Bond. Bond back onto his right. Good kick, wasn't it? Under a bit of pressure, got the ball out wide. Goodwin's hand pass releases Tyson. Tyson ducked as he kicks the ball. Umpire sees that as all fair and above board. The kick went over on the full. Tyson appealing for a free kick, but it's going to go to Fremantle on centre wing.
Robbo, the Fremantle defence is standing up very, very well. There's no Crow forward that looks like dominating at all.
Wills with the football, goes in short. He's provided a target, hasn't he? Daniel Bandy. Left foot kick by that player. Big punch from behind by Modra. Goes back in the direction there of Golding. He slips and loses possession of the ball. So did Kickett. Bickley, hand pass wide. Gathered in turn by, who was that? Walker. Hand pass goes wide to Ship. Oh, he stood his ground and did it well. Wills, the recipient of the little tap on. Wills' kick been marked by Costa.
Yeah, Walker just came onto the ground, Robbo.
Thanks, Pete.
His first touch. Great grandson of Gordon Coventry. We saw him in action last week at the MCG. James, 25-metre hand pass to the advantage of Bond. Kicks past Fletcher, lands it up towards centre wing. Plenty of Crows there, or maybe the sun was a factor. Bickley, not Bickley, Rashudo. Back to Costa, who's been very good, onto James. The Crows starting to fire now on a few cylinders. This is Burton, also starting to get a couple of touches.
Well
That's
done.
excellent football. And Smart takes the mark inside 50, so they can get perhaps 3 goals in succession. We have a ball game now.
Amazing the confidence of Mark Rashudo. He would have snapped that ball up any other day, wouldn't he? That
Yeah,
mark
he
that
would
dropped.
have. Yep. I mean, we'll give him the benefit that maybe the sun was a factor, but just looked a little bit hesitant, didn't he?
Nigel Smart, a shot for goal. Looks all right from here. The goal umpire, I think, will agree. Smart likes it. It's there.
Here's a couple who bought a renovator's delight. While they're proud of the breakthrough they've made,
Put in some French doors and then pave the courtyard.
not everybody shares their vision. And here's the Mitre 10 specialist.
Let's start with Accent. It's good value, it's our own brand, great range of colours.
From the store that understands it's not just the low price, it's getting the right advice that really saves you money.
You can see it, can't you, darling?
Yeah, it'll come.
Well, 4 goals so far in this term to the Crows. 1 to the Dockers. Costa again, little hand pass. Andrew McLeod just got rid of Heath Black emphatically in the finish. Kick forward again by James. At the feet there of Burton, able to get the hand pass away. Costa, very well tackled. Ball spills for Rashudo, couldn't break away, and the umpire surely will be forced to bounce.
Costa hit that ball very hard then, and he had to. It was a bad handball out of the pack. It was lucky because Costa was the only Adelaide player around, and he had to go hard at the footy.
The bounce, Robran, little tap on, Fletcher. Good play, Rashudo. This will lift him if he can kick a goal. He can't. Slips off the side of his boot into the pocket. The umpire's found a free kick. It's going to Smart. Now, if Nigel Smart kicks this goal, it will only be 7 points the margin in favour of Fremantle, who led by 33 at quarter time. Nearly 12 minutes left in the first half.
Impossible from there, Woosher, or a chance?
Yeah, he's a chance from there, I think.
Screw punt kick. Has missed. Scores are behind. Have another look now at the free kick. Rashudo going in, John.
Yeah, it's definitely
jumper job.
Strong hold on the jumper there, and you can't get away with that these days.
Picked out by Hayden Kennedy. Parker, a little bit of indecision, goes in short. This has got to be pinpoint. How many times you see those come unstuck? Wirra has been back and forth with his AFL commitments across the Nullarbor. Now back at the Dockers, where he started. So they've got to regroup now. After Adelaide have come back, I think they would have expected the Crows to fight. They have done. Bandy needs the ball to sit nicely, or confronted there by Bickley. Both players showed courage there in that contest. Quick kick from Stevens, up the centre wing. Clement, a little fumble. It's okay. On to Kickett, who's been good. Good Shepherd. Costa comes at him. He's the leading kick getter in the match so far with 8. Costa. Nearly a mark down there. Was it a holding decision? The crowd wants it as such. Bassett's kick is up and under. 40 up, 40 down, 80-metre kick. Didn't travel very far otherwise. Waterhouse. Ball slipped out the side. Ship was there. Couldn't take it. Now Rashudo. The Roo from left centre wing. Clement. Carroll. He'll go back to Clement, will he? Yes, he will. Edwards comes at him. He's gone out wide. Finds his teammate down there, and Luke Toyer. Prescott, one of the Dockers' best players in the first quarter, as was this guy, Fletcher. Long hand pass, Brody Holland. They need a steadying goal from the Tasmanian, and he's given it to them.
Well, they certainly did need that goal. Adelaide dominating the second quarter today. Fremantle hanging in there. They needed to score a goal against the flow get themselves back on the scoreboard, back into the game again. And good hard run from the back line by the Fremantle players. Again, using the ball pretty well to set Holland away. He could have actually handballed outside to Toyer, who was running hard for him, but decided to take the shot and didn't let his teammates down. Very good kick for goal.
Brodie Holland, the goal kicker, but good combination here from Fremantle to get the ball forward and give Holland the opportunity to kick the 10th goal for the Dockers. Bandy doing some good work, forcing the ball forward. In trouble there, Goodwin, locked up by Waterhouse and his teammate in Prescott. The umpire will be forced to bounce about 65 metres from the Dockers' goal. They lead by 3 goals. They led by 33 points at quarter time. They're going to go forward again here. Prescott kicks in the direction of Modra, appealing for the free kick. Not forthcoming. Struggle for possession. Modra! Oh, dear me. It was a goal if McLeod wasn't there. Correct. But McLeod was right onto it. Oh! A spectacular leap again by Brett Burton. You love that one, Pete. Magnificent. Isn't he just an exciting prospect? Brett Burton's kick goes across the ground. Tyson, now James, in turn goes further forward. Stevens has run all the way down the ground.
Oh, stop the play. We want to have a replay of the mark. Clement up high. We'll have a look at it again in a minute. Ben Hart, awkward kick off the boot. Parker chases the ball, stops on its end, and he'll be able to clean up a short pass on to Fletcher. Fletcher right on his own defensive 50-metre line. The Dockers are answering all the challenges here. This is a good game of footy. Hope you're enjoying it. Ship, the funny bounce that favours him, runs into his teammate in Prescott. They still get out of it okay. O'Reilly off a step down towards half. Oh, Modra this time can't take it. Bassett is doing a little bit better in the second term. Bickley back towards or close to the boundary line. There he is. That's the spot where he took the mark. Burton out of bounds on the full. The highs and lows of footy. Literally.
The tempo's lifted a little, I think, in the last minute or so.
Here's the mark of the day. You won't see better than this. Up and away! Magnificent. The Cadbury mark of the day. That's a box of chocolates for everybody.
It certainly got you off your seat, didn't it, Peter? Here's a 50-metre penalty. This might give Darren Jarman the chance to kick a goal here because that 50 metres, surely, no, it doesn't quite bring him up to the forward 50 arc. He's 55 from goal. He'll lob the ball in the square. Oh, well done. Terrific job back there by James Clement. He's marked in front of Nigel Smart. Kicks it out wide to Bandy. Bandy can go short as well. And Fletcher. Hand pass inboard. Black. In turn, Toyer. Toyer's on centre wing. Has a bit of a look. Then delivers very nicely in the direction of O'Reilly. Not able to take the mark. Being taken to the ground was Herbert. Didn't have the football according to the umpire. Very much against the Dockers fans' ideas. And Herbert, his mark, lobs the ball in front of Costa. Gathered by Black. Handball, kick it. Advantage maybe with the Dockers. Kick it, run down. Could have taken the ball back, the umpire. But Prescott, he kicks across the half-forward line. The lead provided by Modra. The bounce a little awkward. He's able to gather and then kicks in the direction of Kickett. 3 Crows players fly for the mark. The ball at the feet of Tyson. Bickley, good gather. Shaw ball handling. James for Johnson. Johnson has a look down the ground. McLeod's on the end of it. McLeod takes the mark away from Carroll.
Was he off?
Don't think so. Carroll made sure that he wasn't able to run on. Gets the short pass to James. James from just one and then kicks. And kicks long. The mark is taken in the square. Darren Jarman's got it. And surely Darren Jarman will kick his second goal from about, well, right on the goal line he is.
Robbo, 2 positions that are worrying Fremantle now for the Crows. Behalf are the wings, Tyson and Costa, are really putting some effort in here.
Costa's been terrific, Curls, hasn't he?
8 and 5.
Certainly has.
Jarman to shoot for goal.
Tyson 7 and 3.
Slight angle, and he kicks the goal. He's got 2.
I want to do it, Mom.
3 kicks to Darren Jarman, but he's managed to kick 2 goals. 3 kicks, 2 marks, and a couple of majors. Really an uncontested mark, as it turned out. Kick dropping a little bit short. Jarman read it best. Back to the centre. 6 minutes to go to half-time. The Dockers, with just 2 goals in this quarter, have been pegged back almost by the reigning premiers. Costa's been very good. Johnson Quick hand pass. Can they get it out of the centre? Good tackle by Black. Bond flipped on by Johnson. Costa, as Coach just said, he's been very good. Bickley, Rashuto, the Roo, away from Prescott. That's a booming kick up towards full forward. Tall timber needed here. Oh, McLeod did brilliantly. Barged his way through the pack. Still got a kick away. And a kick off the ground. It came from, was it Burton or Johnson? One of them.
Burton, Peter, you're right the first time, yeah. Gee, McLeod, John, that was going to be some exciting play if you'd have grabbed that and got through.
He hit that pack that hard and just clean grab at the footy. There just wasn't anywhere for him to escape through the pack. Good pressure by Fremantle to stop him in his tracks.
Certainly was. Robrin over the top. Bandy contesting with him. The ball out of bounds again. About 5 metres further around from the behind post.
And Peter Costa has his third opponent.
Let's take a look at the Cadbury mark of the day from Mr. Burton himself. This is magnificent. Andrew Wills into footy folklore. No one's going anywhere there. Edwards has got the footy and Norris has got him.
Burton's just got a great leap, hasn't he? He didn't even have to use his knee on Wills to get himself up. His leap actually took him over the top of Wills.
Well, last week he was penalised because he had the hands on the shoulder, but that was a perfect one. But James, a snap at goal, either a behind or out of bounds on the full. It's the latter, and so a free kick will be taken down there by Bond, who at the moment has the job on Jarman. We wouldn't envy him in that regard.
Toya's moved on to Costa to try and tighten up on him. Costa was getting well on top of Gale.
He's had a great quarter, hasn't he? In fact, a great match so far. Bandy in front, Herbert from behind. No one can bring it down cleanly. Quick kick comes out of the pack, and Smart nearly grabs it. Kick up towards centre field, advantages the Dockers. Carroll's got it. The half forward, Ben Hart misses the mark. Still Hart. Well, it might have been taken high down there. The tackle came from Clark onto the ground, number 39, with the big knee bandage.
You know, the fans booed the decision, but the umpire was in a fantastic situation there. He's only about 3 metres away from Ben Hart when he made this decision.
Well, yeah, play on, probably a good call.
Yeah, no doubt.
Ruck contest, Tyson went without it. Not the second time, though. Good hand pass to the advantage of Rashuto, and he runs.
Rashuto looking for someone to kick to down the ground. Has to blast away to a one-on-one. Edwards gets onto the football, then lets himself down with his delivery off the left. Burton quickly onto Carroll. The ball locked up on centre wing.
It's interesting because Rashuto went off the ball about 5 minutes ago for a quick breather, and when he did, Prescott started to gather easy possession straight away, and Blight got Rashuto straight back onto the ball.
Right on the sponsor's logo on centre wing. Norris gets the hand pass back to Fletcher. Fletcher into the centre. Mark is taken by Toya. He's still behind the centre circle. Kicks and gives it to Costa. Unbelievable. Bandy able to gather. Kicks in the direction of Black. Gee, that oval ball that really makes fools of players on occasions. It's set up then. Bond kicks down for Matthew Robrin. Good pressure provided by Parker. Slipping over Costa at a critical stage. Tries to keep in the contest. Does well. 3-on-1 and Costa was still there. But Black gathers. Handball to Fletcher. Fletcher to try and find some space for himself. Back to Black. Black off the left. Goes into the middle of the ground. And he in turn cops it up. Gee, it's a comedy of errors the last few seconds of the game. Prescott. Pressure provided there by Rashuto. Prescott didn't have the football. Dockers fans are happy. Prescott takes the free kick. Kicks into the left forward pocket. And Modra up high in front of Bassett.
Nearly 50. See the way he landed on him?
No penalty. But Modra will have another look at the kick coming in from Prescott.
Yeah, it was a good kick. Gave him every opportunity. That's where Modra needs it, out in front, so he doesn't have to have the wrestling contact. If he can get a run at it, he's very good in that situation. And pretty important kick for Fremantle, getting close to half-time to stretch that lead out again.
Well, he kicked 3 goals in the first term, going for his first of the second quarter. The kick slips off the side of his boot, and away from Ben Hart, it goes over for a throw-in in the right forward pocket for the Dockers.
A real change in fortune, isn't it? Fremantle couldn't miss the goals in that first quarter. Everything was going their way. And now when they really need them, there's a bit more pressure on each shot at goal, and they're not doing as well.
Well, there a chance here. O'Reilly to Fletcher. Fletcher sit underneath the Wanganui punt without just giving up your position there. The players were good. Prosciutto gathers and then throws it onto his boot. The torpedo punt kick at half forward, gathered by McLeod. The pass. Smart tracks the tackle. Nigel Smart goes for goal. And I would suggest he's kicked the goal.
Speed traps, random breath tests, the confidential police report leaked to us. The tips a bucket on them both.
It seems almost comical if it wasn't so serious.
Fatal flaws in our traffic policing. The exclusive report on 7 Nightly News. On Today Tonight, bad umpiring.
I am accusing him of being biased.
Mark getting his second goal, and the Crows right back in the match now here at Subiaco as they moved it from one end of the ground to the other with just over a minute left in the first half. Back to the centre. The Dockers need a reply. Can they get one before half-time? 63-57, so just on a goal the difference. James to half-forward. Robin again, confronted by Wills. Swings it onto the right. McLeod gets an awkward half-volley. Wirra will be able to tidy up. Look for someone across centre wing. That's Bandy and Herbert. Oh, that's a good mark, running with the flight of the football. The outmanoeuvred Lucas Herbert. Bandy in short. Kicks it to the man on the mark, so Herbert's got it. Might be a costly changeover. Tyson
could level the scores, Peter.
It could.
Here.
He can go all the way and have a shot.
3 bounces. Tyson inside 50, bombs it long. Looks pretty good, but just fades to the right. He's not happy with it. So the margin is now 5 points.
Peter, interesting little point that the viewers may not be able to see. At the start of this quarter, the Crows have changed their defensive setup at the centre bounces. They are now putting 2 men on the defensive area.
Thanks, Curls, for that. 10-3 to 9-4. That turnover just registering the one behind. It could have been real costly, as Robbo said. We might have had the scores level. Clement in front of Tyson Edwards and probably would be more than content to see the ball over the line and out of bounds as we count down to half-time. Terrific game of football. Adelaide winning this quarter well after Fremantle kicked a record score for the club in the AFL in the first term. Prescott slung. McLeod onto Prosciutto. A lightning hand pass. The Roo goes at goal. Will the Crows be in front? Smart. That hit the post. So 4 points the margin now.
Mark Prosciutto's first score in this match. That behind, close to half-time.
He started to get a fair bit of the football now, looking dangerous. Prosciutto. His disposal hasn't been as sharp.
9-3, John.
6 goals, 5 they've kicked in the term to 3 straight by Fremantle. The kick-in is a good one. Fletcher has marked. Probably no further addition to the score, you would think. Fletcher goes back to Wirra in his defensive 50. Quickly, he moves the ball forward. Mark is taken by Bandy. He's got a great work ethic, John. He gets over the ground, doesn't he, this boy?
Yeah, he is. He's running hard. Just got to use the ball a bit better at this stage.
So as he prepares to kick the ball, the siren halts proceedings in this match between the Dockers and the Crows at Subiaco. Sunday football on Channel 7 around Australia. And at half-time, the Dockers have the ascendancy. They led at quarter-time by 33 points. They lead at half-time by 4. So the viewers and the fans here, we've got a second half of football that will promise plenty, John.
Well, it's a great comeback by Adelaide. Fremantle just probably went so well in that first quarter, eased off a little bit, let Adelaide get their confidence up, and they've fought their way right back into the game. Makes out for a great second half.
We'll do it all again. The second half should be an absolute beauty. 10-3 to 9-5. We'll take a break from Subiaco. Back shortly. Against Golding. Golding wins it straight to McLeod, who unaccountably fumbles. Tackled by Prescott. He brushes that okay. Dual Norm Smith medalist. Kick it. Punches from behind. Robrin gets his hands on it. Bond's got it. And it's all tied up inside 50. About 40 metres from goal. Great second quarter by Adelaide. Crows were completely blitzed in the first term. Trailed by over 5 goals, and they got it back to 4 points at the main change, with Fremantle just adding 2 goals during the second term. Parker out to Wirra. Went defensively to the boundary line. Now it's Fletcher taking it from Walker. Up the centre wing, and Stephen trundles it over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Pete, the bench for Fremantle, Clem Michael, Michael Clark, Luke Toyer, Brodie Holland, and something Damien Drum did say at quarter time was they had to learn to stay in front of a team. The Dockers, they had to learn to handle success.
Thanks, Barrett. Golding and Bandy. Prescott taken to the ground in that tackle. Started off in fine fettle. He's had 12 kicks and 6 hand passes so far, and he's certainly been one of the Dockers' best players, along, of course, with Adrian Fletcher, who's had a total of 23 possessions.
Bounce of the ball just forward of centre wing, favouring the Dockers. Adelaide will get on the end of this through Rashudo. Hand pass inboard, finds Tyson. He was very good, James Tyson. That's a good mark too. It came in low and hard, and McLeod controlled it in front of his face, and he's going to shoot for goal from about 50.
Yeah, dangerous player, McLeod. He started in for that first bounce down and actually won the ball out, and then just straight away ran forward, and now playing as a half forward and having a shot at goal. So he's starting to get right into this game.
Well, we've seen the feats of Andrew McLeod over the last couple of years, and this is a magnificent kick too. From 50 metres straight through for an early goal to the Crows.
And they're in front.
McLeod's first goal of the game puts Adelaide in front. They lead 10-5 to 10-3 early in the second half.
Yeah, Brad Wirrell's got the big job on McLeod, and just looks like he may be struggling to contain McLeod now. I'm sure that's something that Damien Drum will be looking at, that matchup, trying to work out where a possible change could come from without disrupting his side's balance too much.
McLeod, the leading kick getter for Adelaide today. He has 11 plus 2 hand passes, and his first goal has put his side in front for the first time today. The Crows leading 10-5 to 10-3. So the Dockers have got to try to stop this trend and get a couple on the board themselves. Bickley, Tyson, Rashudo, 3 of their prime movers certainly. Up the half forward again, a marking contest. Robin caught behind Parker. Fletcher, who's been really good. The hand pass a little bit too severe for Wirra. Back to Parker. Gets clear of Robin. Up to Bandy. Unaccountable fumble, but that was well done in the end. Gale flips it out to Walker. Walker still inside the square. Chased by Golding. Awkward kick off the boot. Waterhouse a little bit underneath it. Bond reads it well. Wills chases him. Won't catch him. Tyson, who's been very good at midfield. Plenty of time, plenty of room at right half back. Kick it, tries to spoil. Edwards has got it though. Rashudo, Baru, McLeod. Danger signs here. They share it around again. Rashudo, long down the spine of the ground. Carroll reads it best. Burton caught underneath the football. He takes the mark.
Carroll at full back for Fremantle. Adelaide lead by 2 points. Carroll's kick finds Kickett. Left half back goes short in turn. Parker has the football for Fremantle. Kickett trying to provide a target, but ignored. Parker goes into the middle of the ground. Position made there by Gale. Gale has the football. He's still in his defensive half of the ground. And indecision from Mark Gale. Umpire surely will force him to move the ball on shortly. He does just that. Kicks it high and long. Lands at half forward. High flyer was Goodwin, not able to control the ball. Goes after it again at ground level. Hand pass a little errant, so he goes in to try and make up for it. And at least can hold it up for Adelaide at centre half forward, about 55, 60 metres from the Fremantle goal.
Robbo, from up where you are, does it seem that Fremantle may be becoming a little uncertain in their movement?
Well, the early part of this third quarter, Curls, yes. I mean, Adelaide threw everything at them in the second quarter to bring that result back to within a goal, and Adelaide kicked the first goal of the second half. So here's a chance for Modra. Strength, not able to kick accurately, though, from that hurried shot at goal. Registers a behind.
That was just a great effort to even get that ball onto his boot by Modra, fighting very hard up there, but Fremantle certainly have stopped that quick movement of the football. Adelaide have tightened up. They're manning up a lot more closely and forcing Fremantle to hold the ball up.
Actually, we noticed Modra holding the jumper of his opponent then. Waterhouse has a ping at the goals, but he's well off target five as he blazed away. And Regis is just the one behind, and that will level the scores here at Subiaco. Waterhouse 1-1 against his name. A goal in the first half. It's 10-5 apiece. And remember, in round 17 last year, these two sides played a thrilling draw. And not a thrilling draw, it could have been a draw, but A 1-point result to the Dockers. Golding at the back.
Well done.
Sneaks it over Bandy. Gives the hand pass away. Johnson. Kick it hard at the footy. Reads it well. Rashudo, he ducks the tackle. Probably a good decision to let play go. O'Reilly's got it.
Gale.
Man on his own is Gale. Well spotted, Robbo. Gale inside 50. Just didn't have enough space to go off. Norris marked in front. He's only about 25 metres out, directly in front of goal. Kicked the goal in the first quarter off the ground. It was a delightful snapshot.
They go back to congratulate Kickett in the middle of the ground, and John, his effort to just keep the ball in front of himself was terrific.
Just a real hard attack on the football. And Gale, who swapped wings, he's now picking up Tyson. Found a bit of space running forward. James Walker's swap wings, he's gone over onto Costa. Big job for him.
Norris, well, any score will put the Dockers in front. It's not the result that he wanted, though, and Register's just one behind. So he should have done better from there. So 1 point the difference now, 10-6 to 10-5. Fremantle back in front.
Gee, for all the practice that the players do in shooting for goal, you still see some chances go begging, don't you? That one from Jason Norris. I'm sure that Damien Drum would have been looking for a conversion. Docker's looking for a 50-metre penalty here, but Walker with the football goes in short and finds Gale once again. So already 4 possessions to Gale, and that kick, I don't quite know whether it was meant for Black. It was a bit of a wobbly one coming in, wasn't it?
Bit of a mongrel kick coming in, but Black was on the move, which you've got to be on in the forward line. See, Black just basically was getting himself set to run in and crumb the long kick, but kept his eye on the ball and took the grab.
We'll claim it as a pass later.
Again, an opportunity here for Fremantle. Norwich missing from a similar distance, similar angle on the other side of the ground. Black going for his first goal. And Fremantle's first goal of the second half. He hooks the kick, and he looks as though he's missed as well. So
they're having a few shots at goal, Robbo.
Yeah, no good fortune there, was there?
Adelaide is struggling to get the ball away from these kick-ins. Fremantle have been manning up very well.
Ben Hart, short one, taken by Bickley, running outside his defensive 50.
Slow start by Mark Bickley today, back into the side, but he's starting to display some good form now. James, look away, hand pass. Tyson gives it back to the skipper. That won't lose him any votes. Shepherd by Kane Johnson. Oh, Edwards, but it was messed up by McLeod. They both had their eyes on the footy. McLeod decides to go off the ground. Costa holding the footy, says the crowd. The umpire says no. Edwards off a step, bombs it long, back into the goal square. Jarman!
He's got it.
Touched!
No.
I thought you were right, Robbo.
Well, the goal umpire saw the touch. The field umpire didn't. He was signalling with both hands up, saying he thought it was a goal, but the goal umpire saw the touch by Chris Bond on the footy.
Well, let's see who did touch it.
Chris Bond here. Says he flicked his finger on the way through.
He's a marvel, that goal umpire.
I'll say that. A good decision if that's the case. Carroll kicks up towards centre wing. Wants Bandy pushed. I'd agree with you. Bond has got it. Bandy. Back to Carroll, who's been solid this afternoon. Carroll's kicked to a contest at left half forward. Plenty of Crows players at the fall of the ball. Good tackle by Black. Didn't go his way, though. The Dockers trying to get something on the board after they've scored 4 behind so far in this quarter. May prove costly. James over to Rashudo. Hand pass a little bit astray. Fumbled by Gale. Gives it back to Norris. They share it around again. Fletcher, who's been good. And again, back to Carroll it was from Norris to centre wing, and the mark is taken by Heath Black. They're getting plenty of the football, Fremantle. Now, Bickley.
Goodwin at this.
Goodwin. Sorry, comes away across half back. Johnson. Pass intended for McLeod. Jarman may get back there first. No, he doesn't. Wira does well. Fumbled by Bond. Hand pass a little bit too severe. Over to Gale again. Also getting a lot of the football in the third quarter now. Wira's turn, goes up the half forward, finds Wills.
Wills all on his own. He's pretty quick, so Rashudo won't catch him, and the little left foot kick was a beauty. Nicely weighted, and the mark is taken by Bandy.
12 kicks, 10 marks he's taken today.
Yeah, well, he's just running into all those spaces across the ground, and he's pushed forward a fair bit today, and just needs to finish off his game by kicking the goals.
Well, stats were big last week against Melbourne, weren't they? From
31 possessions
as
a ruckman last week.
Well, he's going to kick from about 40 metres. It'll need a kick of 45 metres plus to score. We get the feeling that the breeze is blowing a little bit left to right from where he's kicking, and he's judged it beautifully. He's a very good player for such a big fellow.
4 behinds at the start of this third quarter. Oh, great tackle by Prosciutto. That was terrific. So Luke Longley back into the Australia's basketball side for the first time since I think about 1992. Free kick going to the Dockers' way. The recipient is Norris. O'Reilly.
Good punch from Stevens.
Punch away by Stevens. Now Bond. Wills can't catch him.
Good kick.
Beautifully weighted to Tyson, who marks at midfield. Prosciutto coming into some form. Black couldn't catch him. Carroll, a little bit of a nudge out there. Carroll might have been taken high down there by Burton. The umpire says no. Smart on kick. It was a good tackle. Ball jarred free. Picked up by Carroll. Over to Wirra. Better stuff now from the Dockers. Gale, who's been good in this third quarter. Over to Heath Black. Black from left half back. Bombs it up long towards centre wing. Beautifully weighted kick for Norris. Look away hand pass to Prescott, who should be able to manufacture something out of that. The hand pass also effective back to Norris.
Norris's short pass is all right too. Very efficiently onto Wills. Wills looking for a player leading. Waterhouse came out in front. He ignored that and went to the key forward in Modra. Punched away by Bassett. James just gotten rid of in the contest, but he was able to just gather his thoughts and finished up with the football. Got it to Edwards, in turn to McLeod. McLeod goes straight towards half forward. Carroll couldn't take the mark. Matthew Robrin was nearly pretty good there. And the hand pass was errant. Brodie Holland, can he gather the football? A chance for Adelaide if they can get onto this. Edwards not able to control it. Now the umpire's found a free kick. Gee, it's amazing, isn't it? They let the play go on and then all of a sudden they find one out of the blue when that was a very good contest between all players in that area of the ground. Walker's kick goes out wide, and Fletcher, who just keeps on accumulating, Fletcher, and he really is a hard-working midfielder for Fremantle.
26 possession, Robbo.
He's let himself down here a little. The kick short. Chipping in was Burton. Burton's kick in the direction of Smart. Couldn't take the mark, but he's quick to get back. Prosciutto applies the tackle. Bond reliable to kick it. Kick it out wide, and Fremantle out of trouble. Parker has the football at right half back.
Oh, has he? Yes, he has. He didn't get the bounce that he wanted. Norris, Robrin, and it's out of bounds on centre wing.
Hey, John, at this stage, it's a real toe-to-toe. There's nobody got any incentive whatsoever. They're just, the two half-back lines are hammering it out.
An arm wrestle, I think Curls might describe it, eh?
I think it's a good one.
Golding.
Well done.
Looks for somebody to take the hand pass. And that's okay. Bond in the end up to half forward, and a good mark. Ellen on the ground for the first time today. Just outside 50, goes in short, finds McLeod. Dummied that well. And McLeod, as we know, can kick a goal from this distance.
Kicked the first goal of the second half, Andrew McLeod, to give Adelaide the lead.
The only goal they've got this quarter, and he has a chance to make it number 2. Daniel Bandy, a goal kicker for the Dockers in this quarter. That was a beauty at the other end. So they've been from similar distances, the two majors scored. Dummied that well over the head of Black. McLeod finding some space at half forward in front of Carroll. Adelaide makes another change. Herbert comes on. So Andrew McLeod kicks from right on 50.
Oh, beautiful kick.
Superb kick. Right over the hat of the goal umpire. He's got his second for the quarter.
Here's a couple who bought a renovator's delight. While they're proud of the breakthrough they made,
Put in some French doors and then pave the courtyard.
not everybody shares their vision. And here's the Mitre 10 specialist.
Let's start with Accent. It's good value. It's our own brand.
It's left in the third term, and Fremantle lead by 1 point. 11-7 to 11-6. Walker can't get away from that centre clearance. Has to cough the football up to the umpire, who will bounce. Not far from the centre circle here at Subiaco. Herbert does some good strong work. Allen gets it back. Kick forward by Tyson. Just a wobbly old punt, but Smart was very good. He got Clement out of that marking contest, and eventually
marked unopposed on his chest about 40 metres out.
It's Daniel Bandy coming off for his first rest for the game. Clem Michael coming on, but Nigel Smart is a good user of his body up forward and always dangerous.
He's kicked 2 and he's hit the post. So 2 goals to Nigel Smart in this match. We've got 7 minutes left in the third term.
Pretty vital 7 minutes, I think it's going to be too.
Scores level here at Subiaco.
Either side can get a handy break going into the last quarter. Will certainly stand them in good stead. Bond just in front of Robrin. Now Wirra's made a move up near the 50-metre mark, close to the boundary line. I don't know whether Bond has seen him or not. Walker goes in even shorter. He's ignored both of those leads. Now Wirra drops back a little bit further. Bond decides to go long and ignore them both. He's gone for Michael, who, as we mentioned, has just come onto the ground. He might get a free kick. In fact, it's going the other way.
Yeah, he had hold of the jumper of Herbert.
Well picked up, was it?
Burton.
See here, he's just pulling on Herbert's jumper.
So Lucas Herbert, about a kick and a half from goal. Smart missed it on the way through. Edwards, courageous effort from Edwards, but he tried to barge his way through. David Howard says not holding the ball. It's going to be a bounce, but it's going to take place only about 35 metres out directly in front of goal. Let's see it again. Edwards brushes 1, brushes 2. Wirra's got him.
Almost got the ball free, which would have been dangerous for Fremantle, but they did well to hold it up. They'll be looking to run it out of this position now.
Robert and Michael. Parker. Gale. Adelaide with numbers. Rashudo confronted by Kickett. Tyson went through without the football. Smart's in there. Some tunnel ball. Comes out to James. Quick hand pass. Good tackle. Fletcher. Brushes Smart. Now there's another whistle on the shoulder according to the umpire. This time it's a Dockers free kick. Bronx cheers for the umpies, but I think by and large today they've done a good job. Better say that. I'll be watching the replay in the Golden Wings Lounge with us later, Robbo.
The umpires, he's reversed the free kick.
Decision.
Norris and James were going at it behind the play, both pushing each other. Norris's last push at James was the one that the umpires decided to penalise, and he's reversed the kick down the ground.
Robin, if he goes for it, would just about make it, you'd reckon. Well, Jarman was held out of that, and the mark taken by Clement, literally in the last line of defence.
Clement now for Fremantle, kicks it down the line where Prescott has made good position just outside his defensive 50. Just lobs the ball in the air. Norwich, who was the infringer when the kick was reversed just a second or 3 ago, kicks the ball out wide to Walker. Walker on centre wing, goes in towards the middle of the ground. Michael, handballs. It was Prescott in turn to Gale. Gale straight towards goal. At the back was Modra. Contest here. Fletcher to Crum. Falls over, in my opinion, Fletcher there, and the umpire ignoring that, allowing play to go on, eventually spills for a throw-in. Just under 5 minutes left in the term. Holland down there to Crum. Fletcher gathers the football.
Could have been taken high.
Well, I think he tried to play that quite nicely to maybe scrounge a free kick. But this is Bond, who's been very good for Adelaide across that full-back and half-back line. Good mark taken from behind Rashudo by Carroll. Releases Kickett. Kickett cops it up. Short kick, and I guess it's just the chaser, John, on that occasion, that forces the kick to go errantly to the opposition.
And their important turnovers in the middle of the ground in those areas really cost your team.
A kick by Costa. Matthew Robrin has worked very hard. Rashudo out to McLeod. Is Matthew Robrin going to be penalised for a throw?
It wasn't throw. The umpire in the middle picked it up, Robbo.
So Parker to kick the ball to Norwich. In turn to Michael. Michael in short. Waterhouse. Gee, this will be a good chase, won't it? 2 speedsters here. Bond and Waterhouse. Helped out by Goodwin was Bond. Bickley. In turn Stevens. Well done. He shrugged the tackle and then got the kick away. He's been pretty good discipline on Stephen O'Reilly, Mark Stevens, but his kick is marked by Parker, who in turn finds Walker on centre wing.
Costa stands the mark. Walker started on the interchange bench today. Got a couple of options there. O'Reilly in front of Stevens. Mark or push in the back, whatever you like. O'Reilly, right on centre wing. Best and fairest winner at the club, a couple of seasons back. He's kicked to a contest. Punched away by Herbert, and there's going to be a Crows free kick here.
Against Waterhouse, just a bit of a lazy push in the back as the ball was coming in.
So they run it away again. Hart takes the hand pass. Tyson should be able to mark. He does in front of Gale, just inside the boundary line.
After we had a goal feast early, Peter, 8 goals to the Dockers in the first quarter and 6 goals, 5 to Adelaide in the second term.
Right,
it's just been, yes, 1 goal 4 to Fremantle so far in this third term, 2 goals 2 to the Crows.
And you can see there, top left-hand corner of the screen, under 3 minutes to go in this quarter. A vital 3 minutes of play. Huge pack of players on centre wing. Norrish to Black, gives it back to him. Prescott says go. He does, up towards half forward. The mark has been taken by Brodie Holland. He's a long kick to Tasmanian up towards full forward. Crows with the numbers. O'Reilly, was he held? Will he give it to Prescott? He can, off through the legs of Prescott. So again, Adelaide's defence mans up pretty well. Bassett over to Bond, around Ship. Bassett in trouble. Modra over the top. And a bounce. So they did it well in the end. The Crows, it might have looked a little bit clumsy, but they got the desired result. And they're able to man up in defence down there for a bounce.
Yeah, both sides have really tied each other up now, and we see that sort of contest has been typical of this second half so far. Both teams just very tight, not giving the opposition a chance to get some free-flowing play going.
Everton O'Reilly, James, Courage, Bond, Bickley, good tackle by Toya, Walker, Holland has to wait. Oh, he was taken high, yes.
He played that well. Just protected the ball with his body, knew what was coming, and he was either going to get tackled or a free kick. So yeah, that's right, and he did the right thing, just protected the ball.
And in this quarter, both sides are struggling to find a dominant forward. Modra's been held, and of course, the Crows can't find an effective player up there.
Well, maybe they can get a goal out of this foray. Gale's got it. He's picked up a few possessions in this quarter. A total of 10 now for the match, 10 and 6, and he's taken 6 marks. Right on 50. He's kicked long. That's not a bad sort of a kick. Oh, that's a vital goal for the Dockers, close to 3/4 time.
Telstra Big Pond makes it.
By Mark Gale, gives Fremantle the lead. Knocked away by Herbert, but gathered by Michael very athletically. Kicks the ball to half forward. Standing up there was Ship, able to gather the crumbs. Hooks the kick back to Modra. Modra will get a goal, won't he? Oh, dear.
No.
Hit the post.
Hit the post. He's maybe that occasion, that time, he had enough time to try and control the ball with his hands onto his boot. Didn't have to actually pick it up and straighten up, but if he had just controlled it, thrown it onto his boot properly, he certainly had the time. And as we talked about, he's done it so well so many times, he probably thought that was a lay-down goal, but missed it on that occasion.
Kick in has been very nicely marked by Norrish. He's 55 to 60 metres from goal, goes short, and the mark is taken by Holland. Brodie Holland has kicked 2, short passes all right to Ship. Very much an opportunist, Andrew Ship. Hasn't had that much of the football this afternoon, just 7 possessions as Damien Drum comes down to address his players at the 3/4 time break. Andrew Ship with the ball has a chance to get his second.
Adelaide really are struggling to clear the ball from their kick-ins. Fremantle have turned it over so many times and ended up having another shot at goal.
Ship does well. Good kick by Andrew Ship. He's kicked 2 goals for the Dockers.
Very good goal by Ship. And if you can cause a turnover on about that 50-metre line from Adelaide's kick-in, Fremantle have been doing extremely well, not letting Adelaide players get free. They've kicked it in long, they've made a contest where the ball's landing, then they've fired up. Once they've got possession, it's so easy then to find space inside that 50, and they've worked the ball well. On that occasion, Ship had plenty of space. They found him, and he finished off with a very good kick for goal.
2 late goals by Ship and Gale. Gee, there's a good Quinella when you think about it. Michael up high, just seconds remaining in this quarter. McLeod, Whitworth at the football. Michael, Fletcher, Prescott, there's the siren for 3/4 time. So the Dockers have led at every change. 33 points at quarter time, 4 points at half time after the Adelaide comeback. Adelaide hitting the front during the 3rd quarter, but again Fremantle has answered the challenge, and a very handy lead in the context of this game. 2 goals won. So 13 points the margin, 86 plays 73 at the final change. I think we're set for a ripper.
No doubt about that. Go, John.
Yeah, it looks like it should be a great last quarter. Most of the goals have been scored to the end of the ground that Adelaide will be kicking to in this last quarter. Fremantle go in with a handy lead, but a lot of work to maintain that lead.
All right, at 3/4 time, it's 86 plays 73 at Subiaco. Back shortly.
Waterhouse wasn't this terrific stuff. Just to keep his footing and able to get the left foot to it. Stephen O'Reilly's tap out from the ruck contest was terrific. Waterhouse kicking the goal. Gee, Adelaide under the pump now. Norwich, who's had 4 or 5 possessions already at the start of this quarter. Prescott, rather, to Fletcher. Up towards full forward. Modra underneath the ball. Bassett at fullback will allow the ball to go over for a boundary throw. Well, I think that umpire got sucked in then, didn't he?
Well, I think he did. Bassett, it's a tough one. Bassett had plenty of time, the umpire will say, to take possession and maybe handball along the line, or at least hit the ball further up the ground along the line and let it go out. He pretty much just let the ball flow straight over the line, and that's the interpretation the umpires use, I think.
Modra, short kick is all right. Norwich, gee, you're lucky, Shane Allen, if you don't get 50 metres. Norwich took the mark. He planted his hands right in the middle of his back, but the umpire has allowed it to stand. So Norwich will shoot a little closer than Tony Modra was, and maybe, 4 or 5 metres inside the boundary line, so the angle not quite as difficult as confronting Tony Modra.
They're good stats, aren't they? And he's been busy in this quarter.
Yeah, they are good stats. He's worked pretty hard all day, and boils down to how crucial these kicks are now for goal.
21 points Fremantle lead by. Norwich maybe to stretch it to 27. Kick goes across the face, and a good safe mark is taken back there by Golding. Golding for Adelaide, goes short. Caven looks to play on. He was fortunate that he had Bickley running in support. Bickley's kick in the direction of Robran. Parker. Robran trying to provide a honest contest. In goes Tyson to give him some assistance, and the umpire will call for a bounce. Right on centre wing, just slightly favouring Adelaide. By gee, they need a goal desperately. 14-10 Fremantle, 11-7 the Crows. It is a 21-point margin in favour of the Dockers.
And Adelaide yet to score in this final quarter. Well, bounce nearly goes out of bounds. Fletcher missed it. Robran didn't. Taps it onto James. And now it's no, not out of bounds. Still in play. James and Fletcher. Free kick.
Well, there's no reward. James keeping the ball in play. Desperate dive on it, but because he dragged it back in and Fletcher was on top of him, he gets pinged for holding the ball.
Fletcher, 31 disposals today. You can make that now 32, and Norris is having a golden last quarter so far. One bounce, time to steady, kicks long up towards centre half forward. Waterhouse is the target. Goodwin's there with him, wears him like a glove. Wirra, Black, outside 50. Oh, he's kicked at a country mile. Modra in front, nearly takes the mark. Crowd looking for holding the ball. Holland kicks the goal.
Oh, it's Toya, isn't it? John,
Toya's handball. Yeah.
Oh,
sensational.
Wasn't it good?
Yeah, that is a goal again. If you can create those goals from really half opportunities, that means so much to your team. And Wirra just ran so hard to get to the contest, had to dive in on the football, and was good enough to take it cleanly and slip out a really slick handball. We just see the replay. Modra again, a great contest. Toya, just a sensational handball. Holland had run hard for him, which is a big part of it as well, and banged it through for a big goal.
Well, Luke Toya got the assist and Holland got the goal. Can the Crows come back from this?
Well, it's a big margin now, 27 points in favour of Fremantle. They've got some fairly effective set of clearances. McLeod well tackled. Wirra, Prescott, Michael. I think Michael's been a key player too since coming onto the ground. Gee, spectacular loop by Toya, not able to drag the ball in. Underneath that might be Mark Bickley for the Crows. Toya over the top, and the umpire will bounce.
Big leap by Toya, but Michael has been very good. He spent most of the whole first half on the bench, came on in the third quarter when Bandy was tiring, and he's slipped straight into it and done a great job.
Well, he got an effective right fist to the ball there. Black controls it to Prescott. looks for Modra. The ball carries over both he and Bassett's head. Goodwin is back there, shrugs the Brodie Holland tackle, was awarded the free kick, but the advantage was paid, and his kick has found James at left half back to Caven. Caven's got Rashudo further down the ground, finds that player. Rashudo now to steady, kicks the ball in towards half forward. Up high was Kickett, interfering there with Edwards. Burton might kick a goal. No, that ball's got to come back, surely. It really didn't advantage.
It didn't really, no. The umpire called the advantage, and he's always got the chance to bring it back. He decided to let play go on that occasion. It didn't advantage Adelaide at all.
That's their first score of the quarter. Yeah, I was surprised when it didn't come back, I must admit. Anyway, a rush behind as Clement pumps it through. And Adelaide, one rush behind, their only score. The reigning premiers in the final term. There's Clement. After bashing that behind through, comes up to take the mark. He'll give it to Gale. He's clear of Allen. He'll now stand the mark. Goes in short. Riley's got it. Hilda giving it to Norris. Goes to Gale. Walker. Came on last week against Melbourne and did well. Modra. Good punch away by Bassett. In a top contest that. Black. Back to Walker. Kick it. Oh, that's beautiful play to Toya. Absolute gem. Toya, the player who flipped up the hand pass for Holland to kick that previous goal. And Howard comes on for Adelaide for his first run today.
Isn't Dale Kickett an amazing footballer in modern day? I think this is about the 5th club he's played for, and he's playing very effective football now for the Dockers.
Yeah, he's one of the Dockers players that has always stood tall for them and shows real grit and determination every week.
Luke Toya, a goal here would make Adelaide's task very difficult, if not impossible, but he hasn't kicked the goal. It's his first score of the day. It's a minor one.
Just Kickett had on that occasion, he had 3 options to kick to. He went to Toya with a beautiful pass, but Waterhouse was on, and Heath Black had run into space as well. So they're looking very dangerous.
Certainly finishing the better at the moment.
This is where Adelaide have been struggling to get the ball away today.
Bassett. He's worked hard on Modra, who got away to a flyer like his teammates in the first quarter. McLeod. Johnson off a step, kicks up towards midfield.
Falls at the feet there of Shane Allen. Kickett and Robran just gets his left foot to it, but Kickett, desperate again, carries the ball over for a boundary throw-in. Howard has come onto the ground for Adelaide, and I just thought, I was watching young Brett Burton there a moment or so ago. He just looks as though he's carrying a leg injury. So the Crows looking for some sort of a lift from one of their midfielders, getting absolutely nothing. And time ticking away, only 11 minutes left. Fremantle lead 15-11 to 11 goals, 8. So 27 points the margin.
And Robbo, just confirming that Daniel Bandy is not injured. He's just sitting on the bench because Clem Michael is dominant in the ruck. And at this stage, Daniel Bandy on the bench, what a luxury.
Well, he's a very agile player, young Michael. Fletcher's kick, well marked at half-back by Bickley. Looks to play on and exceeds in doing so. Goes wide, and the mark is taken by McLeod in front of Wirra. Handball over the top, finds Johnson. Johnson's kick down the line. Allen a chance to run onto it, but Kickett provides the pressure. Rashudo close to the boundary line, gets the hand pass away. Edwards well tackled by Gale. He's covered some territory. Kick off the ground for the Crows has hit the post. It might have come from Edwards. Jarman, it was Darren Jarman kicking behind for Adelaide. That would have been quite miraculous if that had gone through for a goal. Edwards tackled, and Jarman's quick kick, initiative shown by Darren Jarman, but just not able to slot it through for a badly needed goal the Adelaide Crows are looking for.
Yes, Jarman's kicked 2 goals, 2. He's had just 5 kicks for the day. Kickett and Howard. As Robbo said, has just come onto the ground, trying to get his first touch to the day. Good tackle by Walker. Prescott looking for a free kick for holding the ball. There is none, and it's going to be a bounce.
Peter, from the Adelaide's point of view, it's very difficult to win a football match when your 3 key forwards in Smart, Robin and Jarman are well held.
I think that's summing it up in just a nice, handy sentence, girls. Kick off the ground. Gets it back to Norwich territory again. He's having a blinder in the last quarter. Back to Prescott. He was one of the players who set them alight in the first quarter. Modra well underneath that and beautifully read by Ben Hart. Over to Bond. Bond at his own defensive 50. 3 bounces. Still Bond. Looking for a lead at midfield. Kick certainly could have been better. Walker tackled by Costa. Gets into his back. Costa doesn't give away the free kick. Waterhouse reads it well likewise up towards half forward. Or Bickley. Toya confronted him. That brought the error and the umpire says throw it in.
Quickly off the ground to be replaced by James while all this is happening now, Peter.
He wasn't too happy with his effort there.
Toya looks as though he's coming off too, maybe for Ship.
Throw in at Fremantle's right half forward flank. O'Reilly almost does a Gary Ablett. Bassett can't read it. Holland, beautiful breakaway. Holland steps and kicks a goal. He's got 4.
With traction control, sports mode transmission, and a powerful new 3.5-litre V6 engine, new Magna Sports will give you the ride of your life. It is Mitsubishi.
Ship and Bandy came back on and Riley was one of the players that went off.
Still a teenager, Brodie Holland, and 4 goals in this match. Certainly a telling blow for Fremantle. The kick goes forward for the Crows. Not able to mark it was Nigel Smart. So a contest being provided down there by Jarman, harassed there by Bond. And as the umpire found a free kick, I think he might have maybe indiscretion there by Bond at the last second going in over the top. Jarman goes down and Bond in over the top. Maybe that was the penalty that the umpire, or the indiscretion, or should I say, that the umpire noted and has given the free kick to Darren Jarman. He's kicked 2, but he's been fairly well held by Bond, just coming up for his 6th kick.
And one of those goals was from a free kick too, also against Bond earlier in the game, wasn't it?
That's right. Jarman from 40 metres goes for goal and hits the post again. Dockers fans pretty happy with that result. No wonder. It keeps the Crows at bay momentarily. 16-11 to 11-10, a 31-point margin in favour of Fremantle with 8 minutes left.
Here's the goal so far in the final quarter. Bond has got the ball at left half back. They've just kicked the 3 behind so far in this term. And the Dockers lead is almost what it was now at quarter time. After their record-breaking first quarter, Waterhouse the high flyer. Goodwin was there as well. Kane Johnson's got it. The hand pass. Tyson on the end of it. Right on the boundary line, Tyson.
He didn't spot Edwards. Edwards is just absolutely...
Yeah, had to look short and didn't spot Edwards at all. Kicked long and another good saving mark by Trent Carroll.
He's played a good game, Wilshire, hasn't he?
He's played a very good game today.
Very solid in defence. Ashley Prescott. Over to Bond, both former Tigers. Bond, the skipper, up to Ship, as I mentioned, just back onto the ground. And the youngster from Victoria comes from the beautiful Dandenong Rangers town of Gembrook via Springvale in the VFL. Parker. Wirra. The half forward. Michael, you'll have to kick it quickly, son.
Lost his place there, didn't he? Wasn't really aware of the fact that there had to be a player somewhere close to him.
That's right. Yeah, he didn't really accelerate off the mark. Thought he had a bit more time, and in the end, there was enough pressure just to push it wide. He needed to take the ball on the move a bit more quickly and then accelerate, but he just eased up a bit too much.
One behind registered his first score of the day. Ship may get a second chance here. Well, he was taken high there, but nothing forward from the umpire. Hayden Kennedy comes in to adjudicate, and according to him, it's going to be a ball up just outside 50. Time running out there for Adelaide.
Well, you wouldn't think that they could get up from here. They need 5 unanswered goals, and I don't think at any stage during the game have they been able to do that, even in the second term when they kicked 6 goals, 5 to the Dockers, 2 straight goals. Black just thumps it long and hard in the direction of Modra. It's a behind because that ball off the marking contest hit the goalpost. So a rush behind to Fremantle. (16-13) to 11 goals, 10, a 33-point margin. Bassett goes for the big torpedo, gets good distance and a terrific mark. This guy has got some natural talent, John. Clem Michael, well, let himself down a little there. Costa taken away. I think the free kick or the mark was paid to Costa, but McLeod advantage there. Goodwin receiving from Edwards. The kick towards half forward. Getting rid of his opponent there was Parker. His immediate opponent, Robran, gathered by Norris. Gives away just a little meterage there. Back to Bond. Bond running outside his defensive 50, spots kicker. Kick it on centre wing. There's a few players there in the purple jumpers of the Fremantle Dockers. And this bloke's just come onto the ground. Michael Clark. Just loped off the interchange bench and marked. Kick towards Modra. The ball just carrying a little too far there for Modra. Waterhouse gathers. Kicked forward there by Bandy and misses to the right. Scores are behind.
Just been a little bit off target with their kicks into Modra since quarter time. A lot of them carrying over his head. But also Bassett's played him pretty well. He's played very tight since quarter time also.
Ben Hart to kick in. 34 points Fremantle lead.
You'd reckon they'd be able to hang on from here. Tyson, speaking of former Tigers, another one. Played a handful of games back in about 1993. Tyson Edwards. Howard. Howard at right centre wing. His first effective touch, Jarman. That's a good mark in front of Bond. But Bond has done by and large a pretty good job on Darren Jarman today. Back after injury. I suppose we pose the question, is he 100% fit? But if you're out there, you are believed to be 100%. And Jarman has a chance for his third goal. He's kicked 2 goals, 3.
He got the chance because, well, Howard got some space and was able to deliver the ball and didn't come in slow. And with mongrel kicks, it was a good kick by Howard.
Adelaide goalless so far in the final quarter. Jarman from 45. And I think he has missed, judging by the crowd reaction and judging by what he has to say. 2 goals, 4 to Darren Jarman. 16-14 to 11-11. So it's going to be a memorable day, a memorable fortnight for the Dockers, winning their first match at the MCG and now beating the reigning premiers. Kickett's got it. Wirra, short of half-back, around Costa, onto Walker. Walker clear of McLeod, up towards midfield. Bandy back onto the ground. So Drum using the interchange bench to great effect. Waterhouse brushes one tackle. Big Clive long up towards full forward, and Modra, who marks just inside the boundary line, hasn't kicked a goal since the first quarter. He's not going to kick one here. He's gone for the lead, the pass. Black has got it. That was a well-weighted kick in front of Ben Hart. Black gets up to have a shot at goal.
The spirit's good, isn't it, John? The Fremantle spirit. I mean, Tony Modra unselfishly there, and they all go in to congratulate each other, Modra and Waterhouse.
Yeah, they do. They're just playing with so much more confidence, and this today should be their second win in a row, but their last 4 or 5 weeks of football is really starting to be very good and putting a lot of pressure on the side. Took the Kangaroos in very good form to beat them a few weeks ago, so they're looking dangerous.
Black from 30 metres directly in front. Crowd likes it. It's there.
Rock Station.
$6.99. Yalumba card.
$9.99.
Woo! I'm always happy.
Black Douglas Scotch.
$24.99.
Plus a chance to win a cruise.
St. Agnes Brandy. $18.99.
Oh, hang on. Sorry.
Cartons of West End Draft. $24.99. Is that all right?
If you like to sip and you want to save, you can't go past your local Sip and Save.
Well, Heath Black becomes the 10th person to register a goal for Fremantle in this match. Norris knocks it forward, gathered by McLeod. Rashuto out wide to Tyson, who's been pretty good. His hand pass finds Johnson. Johnson across his left shoulder. Nigel Smart from the back. Gee, the crumbs are well gathered there by Edwards, but He was locked up by Parker and Kickett, and the umpire will bounce about 35 metres from the Crows' goal. Robran doing the ruck work. Parker, handball to Norrish. Norrish goes down the line, finds Clement. Clement with just enough time to assess and find Gale. Gale, very hard worker, Mark Gale. 23 possessions.
Had a good last quarter, hasn't he?
And he goes in short to Norrish. He transfers play to the other side of the ground where Wirra will go back in towards centre half back proper, runs through the middle of the ground and then kicks the Dockers into attack. Waterhouse, spectacular leap, and then goes back down after it. Just crashed to the ground there was Bond. Goes in after it with Goodwin and James. Bandy looking for the free kick against the Crows player for not moving it on, but the umpire will come in and bounce. This time, it's about 40 metres from the Dockers' goal. They lead 17-14 to 11-11. It is a 39-point margin now in favour of Fremantle with just under 2 minutes left.
Interesting stat you gave there, Robbo, before 10 goal kickers. It's often thought they're just Modra conscious. Prescott, and he's their only goal kicker. It certainly hasn't proved that way today. Walker puts it out in front of goal. Modra made for him, yes!
That's a just reward for his efforts. I think he's only kicked 3, which he kicked in the first turn, but by G, he's worked very hard up there.
Yeah, he's worked very hard, Robbo. The delivery since quarter time hasn't been that special to him. But on that occasion, that's the way I think he'd like to finish the game.
Work hard against his old side.
Yeah, work hard all day.
Yeah,
he gave off the last one to Heath Black. And, you know, with not that long remaining in the game, take a big screamer and hopefully finish off for a goal for him.
10 last week. He's kicked 3-3 today. Should get this one. He has. He's kicked 4.
And the best man on the ground.
And they come.
Temporary lapse of concentration at a bad corner. I ran up the back of a tradesman's van.
The front light was damaged, the bumper bar, some of the grill.
I made a phone call to Amy. Their people were well trained, that they knew the process, that they knew the answers to the questions. Amy really did make it very easy and did it all for us.
When I went and picked up the car, it was absolutely immaculate. I've never seen it so clean before.
It looked like it does now. It looked like a brand new car.
Very happy with Amy.
We saw Tony Modra go back to the goal square there, Robbo. A little bit of a wry smile.
A terrific smile on his face, and it looked as though he was acknowledging maybe there's a lot of Fremantle Dockers fans down there in that forward pocket. Up high was Herbert. Hand pass came out from Johnson to McLeod, going one way, then the other, then straightens up. Andrew McLeod, a belated goal for Adelaide, coming off the boot of Andrew McLeod. A single-handed effort from the middle of the ground. He's kicked 3 goals. He's tried very hard. Impressive stats for McLeod. 15 kicks, 8 hand passes, and he's kicked his 3rd in the last minute of the game.
Yeah, as soon as he got hold of that footy, you could see him thinking, how am I going to kick this goal? He was going to kick it himself, sold a couple of dummies so he could get around the players coming up towards him. And then once he got within range, just finished off with a good kick for goal. He's tried pretty hard, but Wirra's matched up well on him today, and that's been another good contest. There's been a lot of those all over the ground in this game.
That was Adelaide's first goal of the final quarter. Dominated certainly. Herbert contests the ruck duels. Rashuta, they're starting to sing here the Dockers song as well they might as the clock ticks down to the final siren. Parker's got it. Out to Gale. He and Norris have had tremendous final quarters. They've really done well. Oh, slips catch, goalkeeper mark, whatever you like, to Prescott in front of Tyson. 2 former Richmond players. Bond gives it back to Gale over the head of Howard. Bandy's there, so too is Black. They share it around. Fremantle looking a pretty fit side. Adelaide looking tired. Gale bombs it long. Not a good result though. Bassett.
You're gone.
Goodwin, he nearly was gone. The kick bounces to the interchange gates, crosses right in the middle before Walker can get there, and they'll throw it in the last half minute of play here in this match. So, an historic day for the Dockers. Damien Drum has done it again. The club winning its first MCG encounter under lights against Melbourne last week, and they've come up today to defeat the reigning premiers. So good signs for Fremantle. Hogland went without it. Arguably a free kick there. Kickett picks it up quickly, confronted by McLeod, and that confrontation might see it out of bounds on the full. It does.
So the free kick to be taken right on the defensive 50 metre from Adelaide's point of view by Bond. Time ticking away now. The siren, final siren imminent. Bond kicks the ball towards the wing. That should be a mark, not paid, to Herbert, and there is the siren. Well, they are delighted, the Dockers fans, and so they should be too. They've won this match 18-14, 122 to Adelaide 12-11, 83, so that is a 39-point margin in favour of Fremantle, coming off a very good victory against Melbourne a week or so ago. And down on the boundary line, Neil Curley has Kim Costa.
Thanks, Robbo. Well, Kimmy, you gave me your best shot, but they were just too good today.
Yeah, look, I thought it was a great fight back to get back with them for half-time, and then we, three-quarter time we're still in it, so they just went over twice in the last quarter. Very disappointing.
They were very quick, enthusiastic and sharp early.
Yeah, look, they got on top and we had to work really hard to get back, and I probably took a little bit out of our legs, and in the end they were just too good.
Thanks for your time, son. Back to you, boys.
And a lot of the Adelaide players coming up to Tony Modra down there to shake his hand. 10 last week, 4 today, 3 in the first quarter and 1 in the last, and Damien drove well. Started the season, I guess, almost on the back foot, but he's been able to put it together the last couple of weeks, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think Adrian Barrich is going to try and get an interview down there with Tony Modra, Peter.
Mods.
And we'll go down to Barra now.
Mods, this is the one you wanted, wasn't it, mate? I guess so. How do you feel?
I'm pretty happy, yeah. Can't explain it at the moment. Just feel comfortable.
I noticed, mate, you're shaking hands with all your former teammates as they go off, mate.
A bunch of blokes. I wish them well for the rest of the year.
Fantastic gesture. Who are the heroes today, Mods, for you?
Tom Carroll at the back line. Just everyone in the whole. It's just a good team effort today. Fantastic.
What do you say to your fans? You've come here from another state. 23,000, 24,000 turned out today. It's terrific, isn't it? Listen to that sound.
Fantastic, and especially to win against a quality side like Adelaide, it's just good, and it's only going to help our confidence the rest of the year. We've run 3 now. We've got a long way to go, but I think we might be able to get somewhere.
Last question, mate. What does this win mean to the Fremantle Footy Club?
Plenty, like I said, we've just got plenty of confidence from the game, knowing that Adelaide are a top side.
Good on you, Mods. All the best, mate.
Tony Modra will, in a few weeks' time, they've got the local derby, or they call it the local derby over here against West Coast. They've never beaten West Coast, but on their form today, I reckon they might give them just a little bit of a nudge along in a few weeks' time, don't you?
Well, I think going back in their first meeting, no one said, this is another year where Fremantle won't have the chance against West Coast, but they've really turned around now, and that'll be a great game when that comes up.
Looking forward to that. Their biggest win against Adelaide, they won last year in round 17 by a point, when it sailed over the behind post in time on in the final quarter. Today, no doubt about the result, and the Dockers will celebrate, as I said, long and hard after their win over the reigning premiers. Adelaide, on the other hand, well, they've now lost their last 5 in a row, so Malcolm Blight has his back to the wall, but you would certainly not write off Adelaide or Blighty.
No, they've got a bit of work to do to get themselves going. They'll be very disappointed with their performance today. They really fought back well in the second quarter, but apart from that, Fremantle had their measure, and it showed in the final score. A big win for the Freo boys.
Well, there's the second siren, and it's time for the Dockers to sing their song. Adrian Fletcher's game, fantastic. 18 kicks, 15 hand passes and 7 marks, and I think we probably agree he was just about best on ground, wasn't he?
Yeah, they had some big possession gatherers all day.
Let's see if they can sing. So the Dockers victorious over Adelaide, and they have done it in fine style. 18-14, 122, just 1 goal by the Pros in the final quarter, kicked by Norm Smith medalist Andrew McLeod. We'll take a break from Subiaco. Back shortly.
Wanted for murder and on the run with his son.
He has a long history of violence.
We need your help to find him
He totally loses it.
and reunite a mother and son.
Never ever forget that I am your mum.
Australia's Most Wanted, Monday.
Prices you can't go past on the multi-award-winning Mirage from $13,990. Lancer GLI Coupe $18,490 with air. And Lancer GLI Sedan $24,990 drive away with air. The Mitsubishi end of financial year sale now on.
Can a fat-free soup taste as good as homemade? It can when it starts here and is perfected here in Ina Baxter's kitchen. Ina knows her 98% fat-free soup is 100% taste. Otherwise, she wouldn't put her name on it. Baxter's, the family of fine foods.
Presenting the Crows 98 Premiership Collector's Plate and Club Champion Beer Glass Set. This commemorative plate has MCG and player colour action images with game stats and scores. The 4 glasses feature 8 Club Champions action images. Phone 1-800-151-777 to order. Also a limited number of Grand Final pewter hip flasks by Royal Selangor. Hurry, they won't last. All only $49.95 each. Phone 1-800-151-777 now.
Dave the Storeman at Truscott Hi-Fi is trapped by too much stock, which must be cleared before stock take at the end of the month. Outgo 34cm TVs from $269, big screen TVs from $699, stereo VCRs from $399, Dolby ProLogic mini systems from $699, and camcorders with a bonus from $798. It all has to go.
Please help.
Truscott's, Adelaide's lowest prices with up to 24 months interest-free terms. Hurry, Dave needs your help.
Help.
Here's a couple who bought a renovator's delight. While they're proud of the breakthrough they've made,
Put in some French doors and then pave the courtyard.
not everybody shares their vision. And here's the Mitre 10 specialist.
Let's start with Accent. It's good value, it's our own brand, great range of colours.
From the store that understands it's not just the low price, it's getting the right advice that really saves you money.
You can see it, can't you, darling?
Yeah, it'll come.
What's Sue? Who'd you have in mind? God.
Sue God.
I never said he'd win.
Get ready for a surprise.
Ling is a lawyer?
And she does have a heart.
Tiffany okay? No.
Ally McBeal, Monday.
Welcome back to Subiaco. The Dockers with the record-breaking first quarter, setting up their win early here today at Subi. 8-3 to 3 goals in the opening term. And they came right away with a further 5 in the last quarter to 1 by the reigning premiers, and pretty convincing winners in the end. We checked the goal kickers, and Tony Modra started off in fine fettle. He kicked 3 in the first quarter, 1 more in the second half, actually very late in the game. Holland got 4, the teenager from Tasmania, Ship 2 and Bandy 2, and for Adelaide, McLeod 3, 1 in the last quarter, Smart 2, Robrin 2, and also Jarman too. But their major forwards, John Morsfeld, they were under a not under a cloud today, but they were well held, weren't they?
They were. The Fremantle backline was very solid. Trent Carroll, Shane Parker back there really didn't give their key forwards any room at all. James Clement also very good back there. So yeah, a really good result for Freo today. I think they'll be wrapped.
This is a magnificent
great kick there by Andrew McLeod. Didn't see too much of Andrew Wills today, back into the side, but it was a real all-round team effort. We spoke before the match of the Modra factor, and he was their major goal kicker. It turned out he was that again, but they were shared around today, 10 individual goal kickers, good signs.
Yeah, they were shared around. The whole workload across the whole team was shared around today. We'd see Waterhouse here. Didn't have his best game, but he kept at it and got it.
Waterhouse.
You got some rewards late in the game, which is always the way. If you just keep persisting, you'll eventually get the rewards. But we just see the way that Fremantle used the ball with their hands through the midfield and up forward. They did extremely well. Great handball there by Luke Toyer, out to create a very easy goal in the end for Brodie Holland. But they did work hard to get it on the board.
Can't read it. There's Holland again. Still only a teenager, so he's got a great career ahead of him.
Yeah, kicked 4 goals today and worked very hard. Had a very good first quarter. Faded a little bit, but hung in there and ended up having a very solid game for the side. And Modra here, a good mark just inside the boundary line. He has a quick look around.
Shares it.
And yeah, it looked like a lazy kick, but it was spot on to Heath Black, who ends up kicking the goal. Just scrapes this one in, and he played a good game today as well, Heath Black. He's certainly improving week by week and becoming a real key player for Fremantle.
He liked that as we check the statistics on the game now, with Fremantle victorious, and the kicks, well, they bolted away in the second half. They were pretty close at half-time, and they've come away with a lot more disposals in the second half, haven't they?
Yeah, they've really dominated.
The marks have doubled, would you?
Yep, it's you know, you look at those stats and you'd think the game had blown out more than it actually had. Adelaide always, with guys like Jarman, doesn't get a lot of the football, but kicks goals when he does get it. They didn't have a lot of possessions, but they were always, you know, up to a 3/4 time in the game.
Well, you've given Fremantle your across-the-board selections there. Fletcher, I don't think any arguments. He was fantastic.
Yeah, very good. Set him up from the midfield all day today. Just the number of times he gets the ball and the way he uses it, always dangerous. Ashley Prescott had a good duel with Rashuto, but really finished up on top and was a great player, and Trent Carroll in the back half was sensational.
I'm glad you gave him a vote. I thought he was terrific.
He was very good.
Thanks, Busher. We'll take a break from Subiaco. Back shortly.